Tristan Wirfs, Tua going to Miami, Mekhi Becton, Isaiah Simmons, Jedrick Wills, Derek Brown, and Andrew Thomas rounding off the top 10 for Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft. Now you got Mike Robb and D'Angelo Hall. This ain't our official mock draft, right? But this is what we think is going to happen in the top 10. So first overall pick, D Hall. Who do you have going first?
I'm going to take the most dominant player in this draft.
Talk about it, dog.
And it's not popular, but you win up front. O-line and D-line, Cincinnati. Don't ruin this young quarterback, man. You're going to put him out there and ain't nobody around him. So, with that being said, go ahead and give me, there you go. Give me my boy. Give me my man Chase Young.
Chase Young going first, boy. You heard it here.
And I wish I had some hair.
Total access.
I swing my hair just like Chase swings his hair. But I'm taking Chase Young #1 to the Bengals.
Okay, the top overall talent that we both think in this draft. And so for 2 with the Washington Redskins, I know they already have a quarterback in Dwayne Haskins, but you can't let Joe Burrow go past you at #2. I'm sorry, Dwayne. I'm so sorry, but they switch coaches on you, man. Usually when that happens, a lot of times people lose their jobs when they switch coaches on you. And then you talk about Joe Burrow being a generational quarterback. At least that's what a lot of pundits are saying, people that sit in positions that I do. So how can you go past Joe Burrow? 60 touchdowns in last year. How can you go past them? How can you get past the cerebral part of Joe Burrow?
You know how you go past Joe
How's
Burrow?
That? How's that?
Because he did have 5,600 yards and 60 touchdowns this year. But you know what he had last year before Joe Brady came in and got some guys running wide open?
What did he have last year?
2,800 yards.
Hey, man, we ain't talking about that. We're going to number 3. We're going to number 3.
Yeah,
we ain't talking about that.
Go number 3.
Who you got with the Detroit Lions?
I'm taking Jeff Okudah, man.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead and touch Jeff. I'm going to throw him right here because, like we said, he didn't give you everything you wanted to see and make this combine workout legendary, but you put his game film on, and it is legendary. And then you think about Detroit getting rid of Darius Slay. Get rid of Darius Slay, you bring in a younger, faster, maybe better, potentially, corner in Jeff Okudah who can do it all. Tackle, press games there. He brings the mental part of it. I like Jeff Okudah right there at Detroit.
And you know what? He brings that mentality on the back end of that defense I think the Detroit Lions need. For me, with the New York Giants, I'm going to go Mekhi Becton, VA in the building, Alice Springs, Virginia. This is a wall of a man, all right? 370, 6'7", ran a 5'1". He can stay in front of any one of your pass rushers, and it's tough for me to see Dave Gettleman letting this big mountain of a man get past him. When you have Saquon Barkley back there running the football, you have Daniel Jones, who you spent the 6th pick overall on last year. You want to protect him, and he's going to bring that physicality, that mentality to that offensive line that hadn't been there in a long time. All right, number 5, Miami Dolphins, who we got?
I'm taking Tua, man.
Okay, all right, Tua.
Go ahead and touch Tua. Bam. I'm taking Tua right there with the Miami Dolphins. And look, this is a dude you probably can't pass up either when you talk about generational talent at the quarterback position. The only reason we even having this debate right now is because they think Tua ain't healthy. The man's going to be healthy. But when you watch him play the game, the closest to Russell Wilson I have ever seen. Just his natural ability to know where he's going with the football, to buy time with his feet, and to be just so laser pinpoint accurate, man. Tua Tagovailoa, baby. Bring him down to South Beach.
And with those other first-round picks, Miami, get the man some people to throw the ball to and protect him. You know what I'm saying? All right, okay. With the Los Angeles Chargers, I'm going to go Tristan Wirfs. Okay, workout warrior. What he ran, a 4.8 40? Huge offensive lineman, ran a 4.8 40 out of Iowa. Whoever the quarterback that's going to be with Los Angeles Chargers, this kid, you have to have him there to protect that quarterback. Who you got with the Carolina Panthers?
Let's take Isaiah Simmons, man.
Okay.
You know, we keep climbing Isaiah Simmons up this board, man, and he could fall anywhere up here, but I like him in Carolina. You think about the versatility of this young man. Like I said, he can play every level of the defense. You can have him rush off the edge. You can have him play your Mike linebacker position or will. You can put him back at safety. Heck, you might even can play him at corner because I know Bradbury leaving. So Carolina needs a lot of help. But this dude, Isaiah Simmons, you can put anywhere on your defense, and instantly he'll make it better.
All right, for me, the Arizona Cardinals, wide receivers, here you go, baby. C.D. Lamb, the first wide receiver to come off the board. You're going to the Arizona Cardinals. You're going to be paired right there in that Cliff Kingsbury offense. I'm telling you, Larry Fitzgerald's getting a little up there in age, you know what I'm saying? You need a little bit more juice on the outside, and you just drafted Kyler Murray, who understands the offense that this kid just came from. Could you imagine pairing this kid again with Kyler Murray? The damage that could be done in this offense? Ooh, if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, you better go get C.D. Lamb. What do you think Jacksonville's going to do?
I'm going to take Derek Brown.
Okay.
And check it. If it wasn't for some of the needs by all these other teams, Derek Brown is a talented defensive tackle, man. This dude can do it all. When you think about his ability to just penetrate the pocket, I mean, probably the most athletic big guy you've seen when you watch him move guys out the way. Watch this guy right here, man. I don't even know if they're going to show the one highlight that just blew my mind watching him play. But his ability to just keep pressing that pocket, we think he's just a pass guy, but no. You see him in the run game, he's just as demonstrative in the run game. And so I love Derek Brown. And like I said, any other draft, this dude's probably a top 5 pick.
And according to his tweet, he won't be playing next to Yannick Ngakoue next year. So we'll see with the Cleveland Browns who get Jedrick Wills Jr. Oh, absolutely. This kid is very athletic. Big kid, 6'5", 320 pounds. Is great with his hands, bro. He does a great job of when that pass rusher gets to him. He does a great job of punching. He can stay in front of any pass rusher that the National Football League has, and he bends at the knees. It's not a waist bender. When you bend at the knees, that shows you got a little athleticism about you. So let's take a break from all this top 10 talk about Joe Burrow and Tua and give a little love to Jalen Hurts. After the break, how high did he climb on the draft boards, and how well did he do on the whiteboard? Jalen is getting mooched next.
Uh-oh, there you go. Slow slicing fruits, veggies, and those stingy onions that bring you to tears. But not anymore. Introducing NutriChopper, the compact handheld speed slicer that cuts up to 10 times quicker than a knife. Watch, you can have 1 slice or 10 perfect slices at once. Amazing! You can just julienne, or you can bundle slice julienne sticks at lightning speed. With NutriChopper, you can slice the entire onion or mince a mound of onions and never have time for tears. Why slice a single apple wedge when you can wedge it all in one snap? NutriChopper comes with the razor-sharp interchangeable stainless steel blades you need to make all of the cuts you want, and all incredibly quick. Chop thick slices, chop thin slices, chop cubes, chop sticks, and wedge whole fruits and vegetables in just 1 second. Slice it and cook it right in the pan, right on your stove. Chop and slice right into the pot for a family-sized stew with no mess. Snap and slice a fruit salad for the kids right into the bowl in seconds. Slice up a healthy salad for a quick and easy meal on the go. Cube meats and cheeses quick, in a snap. And NutriChopper comes with a perfect portion container and fresh-keeping lid so you can slice it, seal it, and store it all in one. To clean, simply rinse or rack it in the dishwasher. Then lock it to store it safely in a drawer. And now the NutriChopper with the thin slice, thick slice, wedge, and cube blades, and the slice and store container and lid, a value of over $40, is yours for just $19.99. But wait! Order now and we'll even pay the shipping for you. You get the complete NutriChopper set with blades and container with lids, all for just $19.99 with free shipping. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-408-6920 or go online at NutriChopper.com. That's 1-800-408-6920 or go to NutriChopper.com. Order now.
On October 18th, 2015, my cousin Corey was killed by a plainclothes police officer.
There's just some things that are bigger than football. And I felt like starting a Players Coalition and affecting change in this country was one of those things.
We focused on police community relations, education and economic advancement, and criminal justice reform. The best way to inspire change is to be it.
He's the baddest man to catch a football, bar none.
Launches it for the end zone, Jerry Rice!
If you didn't live to Jerry's standard, you weren't a 49er.
If he saw the ball up in the air, he was going to go get it.
Touchdown 49ers!
I get chills knowing how great he was. He changed the way people played that position.
There we go!
I had that hunger, that desire, and I was not going to let anything stand in my way.
On this episode of NFL 360. From the press box.
This proposal was written for Hannah Storm and Andrea Kramer.
To the practice field.
I don't want there to be a distinction where you have to say she's a woman coach.
From the head of security.
There are not limitations for where you can work because of your gender.
To the huddle itself.
No matter what they said or what they did, it wasn't going to stop me.
It's a new era for women in football on a special episode of NFL 360.
Jalen Hurts, second fastest 40-yard dash among the quarterbacks this year at 4.59 and tied for the best broad jump at 10 feet 5 inches. Threw the ball really well. In addition, also, Daniel Jeremiah says he doesn't see Hurts getting out of the second round because of his playmaking ability and lacks nothing in the mental side of the game, as you will soon see. Of course, you know Jalen Hurts is beginning his college career starting at quarterback for the Crimson Tide as a true freshman. What we know happened after that, well, Tua took over at Alabama, and Hurts found himself at the helm for Oklahoma. Now the 2019 Heisman runner-up sits down at Steve Mariucci's whiteboard in the segment we like to call Draw My Play.
How different was the offense in Oklahoma versus your offense in Alabama?
Very different.
Very different.
Very different, and both were very effective. I'm able to adjust and adapt to whatever it is my coach is trying to do. The different coaching styles, whatever they present.
How much West Coast offense do you know?
I don't know, let's see. Teach me something.
Oh, you want to teach you something? Okay. You know this guy right here for me in San Francisco is Steve Young, all right? You know how many times he went under center and how many times he went in shotgun?
Probably all of them under center.
All of them under center, okay. All right, so here's a play. Double wing right, all right? With the tight end to the right. Here's the Z. Here's the zebra. And the X, all right? Very simple play. So the flanker drive is on this side. It's a 7-step throw, all right? 2 jet, he's gonna check, and then he's gonna check it down right here, the running back, all right? All right, whether this was Sterling Sharp or Jerry Rice or whoever these old guys are, you weren't even born yet. All right, he's gonna come off here and he's gonna rub, and he's gonna come underneath here. Now, if he sits down against zone, it's got to be far side tackle. Otherwise, he gets underneath the tight end, all right? So you want to have something like this, okay? If it's man-to-man, he will run like crazy. But here's another thing against double bump and run. If a nickel and a corner are stupid enough to double bump and run you right there.
Inside fade?
Huh?
Inside fade?
Inside fade is one thing, but here's another thing that we did. Twice in the same game when I was coaching Favre, number 4 for the Packers. Against the Lions in Detroit, Pontiac actually. We would check to swing. He would check, he goes, swing, swing, what's swing? Well, swing means these guys are he's gonna pick, and he's gonna go, whoa, see ya. All right?
Rub.
This guy, it's a rub, it's not a pick. That's just 2-jet. Flanker drive, zebra corner. Where do you rank yourself in this quarterback draft class?
I think I'm one of a kind. Being able to use my athleticism in the pocket when needed. And get freaky in open field when I have to as well.
Excuse me, get freaky?
Get freaky.
I don't know that. What does that mean? Yeah?
It's like the it factor.
You're only going to work as a quarterback in the combine, right?
I'm a quarterback.
You've lined up at receiver before.
I'm a quarterback.
Draw my play.
Draw your play?
Yeah.
I got you. I got my zebra. Y. He's outside. Take a little split.
You want to be in shotgun, I suppose.
I want to be like your boy Steve.
Okay.
So I got a 7-step drop first and foremost by him.
Okay.
Got my basic route right here.
That's it?
He's able to sit versus any zone.
Okay.
Attach versus any man.
Okay.
Get my Z coming across on his shallow route. He's also able to sit. But we want him to sit on that backside tackle.
Yeah.
On our drive route.
Yeah, way over there.
so you can get out, clear the window. That's where we want to set our
Get
zone
out of the
at.
way, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And versus any attachment man-to-man.
All right, so what's
we're
the
clearing them
progression?
out. My progression, Coach, I'm going 1, 2, 2, 3.
If you get some kind of blitz, where's an easy throw and drive concept?
My shallow.
Right there, huh? You're a fast guy?
Drive route.
Yeah, okay.
Z.
All right.
That's your guy, Jerry?
Yeah, he would just catch it and go.
Yeah. I know some guys like that.
Yep, okay, almost like that. What else can you do over there with that slot side?
If I got any man-to-man press, we're going to check that rub route. So we go swing, swing. Let's go swing. What's your signal for it?
Swing.
Go swing.
Swing, all right? Make sure they see it. When do you like this inside fade?
I like that inside fade versus middle field close.
So, but what will you do on the drop, whether you're in shotgun or here, if you got a free safety and you want to throw this, what do you do with your eyes?
We have to do something to occupy this guy right
Like
here.
what? What are you going to do?
Manipulate him. Eyes, shoulders, whatever it is.
Show me. Manipulate me. So you're going back. You're looking.
Look up.
Yeah? And that keeps me in the middle?
Get it there. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You're going to do well, man.
I'm a student of the game.
Huh?
Appreciate you.
Proud of you. Congratulations on everything.
Appreciate
and good
you.
luck.
Thank
okay? All right, man.
You want to see Jalen Hurts again? We got it for you. A 2020 Pro Day special Thursday, March 12th. We will recap the pro days of Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma, Justin Herbert at Oregon, and Jonathan Taylor at Wisconsin. All coming to you 8 p.m. Eastern right here on NFL Network. And there is a popular belief in the NFL that it will be impossible to fill the shoes left by one Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. And we're not saying those are shoes that need to be filled right now. We're hearing stuff, and we'll share it next.
Red Robin brings everyone together. Yeah! Some come to share victories. Some a great meal. Around our tables, there's something for everyone. And a little something more. At Red Robin, you get all the fulls.
Red Robin. Yum. The NFL season is 17 weeks, 32 teams, 256 games, plus preseason and playoffs. That's over 50,000 plays. Like this one, each generating thousands of data points that can help the NFL understand player health and safety like never before. With Amazon Web Services technology, we'll simulate in-game scenarios millions of times to pinpoint where and how we can advance player safety. And that's building a better game.
Walking into a clothing store is a completely different experience for me now.
It's amazing. I'm learning how the brain works, but not just any brain, but my brain.
It's funny how much smarter I feel like Noom has made me. It's the simple things, but they hit that.
This is not just some temporary kind of fix. It's psychology.
If you change up here, everything will fall into place. Visit Noom.com and change your life for good.
We welcome you to NFL Total Access.
It's one of the best things about the National Football League.
Free agency frenzy is finally here.
There's always a fresh piece of news.
We start with the future of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm really thrilled about this opportunity.
Always something to find out.
We are now the Las Vegas Raiders.
Always something to talk about.
Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
Reporting from every city, on every team, every weeknight.
It's going to take a lot of reps between me and the guys.
This is a 4-3-3-40.
On every story, defining the game.
Welcome to the NFL Draft.
Appreciate every moment. It's only one time you get to go through this.
As it unfolds right in front of our eyes.
He's got the speed, he's got the length, he's got the strength.
Into the end zone for the touchdown.
We know the league better than anyone, and we're there to make sure you do too.
He's big, he's powerful, he's everything, and he's going to make some plays for you.
Mercedes-Benz of Seattle. It's time to drive the car that you've always really dreamed of.
Mercedes-Benz of Seattle is the #1 new Mercedes-Benz volume dealership in the entire state of Washington. Visit us at our expansive 80,000 square foot facility in the heart of SoDo, and you'll quickly see why. More people buy their Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Seattle than anywhere else. We have more than 700 vehicles to choose from, including the popular Sprinter van. Stop by today or visit online at mercedes-benzseattle.com.
Speed Freaks game. Speed Freaks stream. Speed Freaks dance. how they want, when they want, for as long as they want. Speed Freaks have 500 meg internet for just $39.99 a month plus taxes and fees and no annual commitment. Frontier, let us guide the speed freak in you.
Any mock draft that had anybody other than Joe Burrow at number 1 would be a bit of a surprise here.
Tua is the biggest risk in the NFL.
Holy smokes!
But he's the biggest reward.
Herbert making some moves.
Herbert solidified himself.
That's a healthy debate that's going to take place across the league.
Faces of the franchise now facing free agency.
As Tom Brady said, no franchise. I want to control my own destiny.
Rock and roll today, man.
Is he healthy?
Camden was hit very hard.
Tell me that, and then we can talk.
Touchdown, Prescott!
I'm not known as a guy who gets hand cramps when I'm writing checks.
I can't understand why it's taking so long to pony up the money.
Are you a $40 million quarterback?
You tell me.
QB20. There are so many quarterbacks available. We've named the offseason after them. Brady, Breeze, Prescott, Rivers, Winston, Tannehill, Bridgewater, Mariota. So many names. It's crazy how many guys could end up in different places next year. And that's just the free agents, guys. There are also a few guys whose names are coming up in trade talks, like Andy Dalton, who is being shopped by the Bengals and has some interesting potential suitors. Ian Rappaport reporting yesterday that the Bears, the Colts, and the Patriots could be in the mix. Michael Robinson, D'Angelo Hall. Would Andy Dalton be a good option for New England if Tom Brady were to not return?
Yes, I think it would be. I think Andy Dalton to the New England Patriots would be a great option, right? And look, I have to say this. I'm not a big Andy Dalton fan. I'm a huge Bill Belichick fan, though, right? And obviously, you can't, regardless of who the quarterback is, you can't go out there with the same skill position players that you had last year. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's Tom Brady coming back. You won't win. But Andy Dalton, 70 wins, 61 losses, and 2 ties with the Cincinnati Bengals, dog. He has a winning record with the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, that should be an accomplishment, and all of it in its own. First 5 years in the National Football League, he took that team to 5 playoff appearances. They didn't win much. They didn't win anything, but he led them there. So you got to think that Andy Dalton has the ability to play at a high level, right?
Yeah,
so all you got to do is get him with the right organization, right?
Get him with the right organization and get him some weapons. You mentioned it a little bit earlier. I played against Andy Dalton and A.J. Green. And when those two dudes were on, they were on. It wasn't a better combo in the league when they were really on. You hadn't had A.J. Green out there in a while. And I don't know if A.J. Green will be coming back there or not. I know they want him, down in Cincinnati. But when you watch Andy Dalton throw the football, this is a dude who can still throw that football all over the yard, still has enough athleticism to get out the pocket if he needs to. And so, Andy Dalton can absolutely still play. And like Imrob said, if you can win in Cincinnati, you can win anywhere. Let's be real.
And the thing about it is he's been humbled so much, right? He can walk into that New England Patriots locker room just the way that Bill wants those players walking into, like, hey, look, man, I was lost at the other place that I was at. Just come here, help me. I'm willing to do whatever you want to do. That's the mentality Bill Belichick wants with his players, and I think Andy Dalton would be the perfect guy to do it, especially if Josh McDaniels, come on, man, you want a veteran guy that's done it before. I can't imagine Josh McDaniels wanting to coach a rookie to go out there for the first time with that defense and all the things around him to try to go win football games.
Did you think when you woke up this morning that you were going to use 70, 61, and 2 as an argument for why a quarterback should get a job in New England?
Sure didn't.
All of this assumes, obviously, that Brady's not back in New England. So let's go ahead and play that game. Where would you like to see him go?
In a perfect world. Perfect world.
The world ain't perfect.
It ain't perfect.
Let's make it so here.
San Francisco 49ers, man.
Oh.
I know, D. I know,
back
right?
home.
San Francisco 49ers, he gets to go home, right? He gets to go back to that area where he saw that immaculate reception, the Joe Montana thing and all that type of stuff.
Football.
All of that, right? And then you look at the defense that they have. You look how close they were to winning it last year. Do you think Tom Brady would have made that throw to Sanders down the field? Man, you think Tom Brady would have completed that pass? Absolutely, the GOAT would have completed it. Come on, man.
Tom cannot have run Jimmy G out of New England
and then run him out of San Francisco.
Run him out of San Fran. That just ain't
Bring
right.
him back
I mean, it
to
ain't
New
right.
England.
That just ain't right.
But
man.
it could happen, though. You know what I'm saying?
How about like a sign and trade?
Sign and trade. Okay, if you John Lynch, and you got 2 years, let's say for the next 2 years we get the GOAT. Come on, man. Come on, man. You got to put the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl every single year. If that happens, that's if that happens.
I'm sending Tom to Tampa. I don't want to cause no problems. Let's send him down to Tampa with Bruce Arians, a really good defense, 2,000-yard receivers. You know, when you think about not having any weapons, and now I got these two dudes to throw the football to, that's what I think Tom's going to do. He's going to where he can throw this football all around that yard because I tell you what, Drew Brees keep getting these numbers higher and higher, and him and Tom got a little battle going.
But how many Super Bowls have these guys won down there in Tampa? You know,
well,
Tom is in the Super Bowls. That's true. He can change
it. It's a challenge.
We'll see.
He's looking for a challenge, or so it's being reported. All right, quarterbacks today. We'll see who makes James Jones's list of the top 5 free agent wide receivers tomorrow on NFL Total Access. And keep in mind, James Jones is known for going a little against the grain. It's gonna be wild. So fellow Super Bowl champion Willie McGinnis, he's also going to be here with no USC Trojans in the mix. Sadly, Willie can remain completely impartial when he picks the top 5 edge rushers from the Combine. That's coming up tomorrow, 7 Eastern on NFL Total Access. First, today, let's talk Henry Ruggs III. Okay, he ran a 4.27 40-yard dash, easily the fastest time posted at this year's Combine. But it's not the most impressive Henry Ruggs video we have to show you. Which means something super impressive is coming up next. So stick around.
Sports fans are gearing up at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
When you're looking to hire, you can find just the right person on Indeed. Indeed gives you tools like online skills tests, which help a candidate show they are the right hire. We'll also give you this groundhog that will come out when the right candidate appears.
Great. You got the job.
Okay, there's no groundhog, but skills tests for sure. Try skills tests free when you post your job at Indeed.com/groundhog.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis? Hey, do they ever ask you what you're wearing? Yeah. Red sweater, button-down shirt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
On top of first-class best care, you will never receive a bill. The only thing we had to worry about was just keeping Azalea comfortable. St. Jude saved her life, and it saved us as a family.
Atkins peanut butter cups are my favorite, but I always want one more. You? Yes, Hannah. The answer is yes. Chocolate, peanut butter, and 0 sugar. We can have one more. Oh, wait, this is a good one. Can I suggest Atkins make a peppermint patty? It's my favorite candy, but would love a low-carb version. I am with you on the whole peppermint patty thing, Amelia, and it looks like someone at Atkins is thinking just like we are. So let's enjoy.
CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight.
If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as the same business day. Get the cash you need fast. Apply online today. Go to CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
I really wanted to see how I could help the inequality in our education system. The name of this book is David Goes to School.
One of the first things he did was send our kids to a writing workshop. He actually went there with them, and that makes a big difference.
I'm proud of what he's doing in the community that he loves. It's extreme pride to represent where you're from and make people proud.
I watch it pretty much every day. I mean, I love the crew.
Nate, Kay, Kyle Brandt, Shregs, those guys know exactly what they're talking about.
Fun is lit, and always talk about the current things that's going on.
This is an MVP. This is a guy who changed the game.
He's been an absolute leader.
Every time I watch a show, though, it's always good laughs.
Spend some time with you guys, it's always fun.
Good Morning Football is a part of my routine.
They might be the team no one wants to play.
I've never seen anything like it.
Keeps you engaged and keeps you right where you need to be.
Be in Canton when the class of 2020 take their place among the greatest of all time. Get your package today at HOFexperiences.com. This is your chance for the experience of a lifetime.
Social Blitz now, and we found a few videos here that we think might supplement the scouting we all did over the weekend. Feats of athletic prowess that you really have to consider in an overall evaluation, like Henry Ruggs' dunking ability.
Hey, I used to do that. That's how I know he's special.
Dude is
I used to do
5'11".
like that. Maybe not that.
Is that for real?
Maybe not that. But
It's real. He does it all. Free throw line, 360s, running fools over. Plus, he runs a 4.27.
Come on, dog.
And that's not all, you guys. How about Tristan Wirfs, the offensive tackle out of Iowa, who knocked the combine tests out of the park and literally box jumped out of the pool.
Yeah, I've tried it.
What?
Wow.
Okay, I've got one more. How about this from Cole Kmet, the tight end out of Notre Dame, who also pitched for Notre Dame and hit too? Guys, he is in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Because Notre Dame played a bowl game at Yankee Stadium and Kmet gave his helmet from that game to the Hall. So not what you'd think. Here's the best from the Combine.
Big scouting combine action out there. This is going to be a lot of fun. Love the gauntlet. Love it. Why? Just keep watching. Somebody's going to look the wrong way.
Oh, they'll take one. Yeah, they'll take one.
Just rip balls at guys.
He lost both shoes.
Came out of both 3 stripes.
Wow. Coach Devlin got himself a face full of bag right here.
Fans like that one. They got fired up.
You don't belong in here. You're a rookie.
25 reps.
Hunters are strong people, too.
Michael Irvin from the Hockey League collection. This medium shirt.
The dude is 6'4", 250 pounds. Like, what you expect, bro? 5'10". Hey, y'all photoshopped that for real. Like, that looked even worse than the original.
Hey, Cam, I do want to be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Have we ever seen a brother cover a brother in the NFL?
You mean black dudes? Or what you talking about?
Have we ever seen a sibling cover a sibling?
I love watching Casserly do his thing. I got a stopwatch here, I got a player there, and I'm watching him. And they're running fast. I love it.
Tall Tiger cover 4.39.
If you didn't know, that's not normal.
OMG. Mekhi Becton. Did we just see him run 5.11? That is insane. Here's Mike Mayock's reaction.
I always used to think it was funny when we caught people.
Right.
Not anymore.
Don't blink. That's my advice. Do not blink when Henry Ruggs gets to the line.
Well, I mean, and then what happens when I get to the line?
You can take a nap.
I love the way you came out low and you stayed like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. You did everything everybody told you to do, like all at once.
Wow, I'll take it.
You were a one-hit wonder. It was perfect.
That's what it's all about right there.
All right, so we know Rich Eisen went under 6 seconds answering one of the biggest questions of the draft season. How about the biggest question now post-combine for you, D'Angelo Hall?
Post-combine, I'm looking forward to this draft. I want to figure out this whole boat scenario. Like, I work. No, I don't want to be on the boat.
I don't want to be on the boat. I'm scared.
Does Mekhi Becton want to be on a boat?
No, he don't want to be on no boat either. Somebody had to say yes to that. You know that, right?
Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Good Morning Football. We are here live in New York City. It is March 3rd. I am Nate Burleson, alongside Kyle Big Brains Brandt. That's right. And you know, Jane, her football knowledge is insane. Slater. What's up, KB? What we got on the show?
We got 3 deep. Jane, how you doing? We got a power trio today. Favorite musical trio? Go around the table. Who you got, Jane?
In Vogue.
In Vogue. Ooh. I love it. It's free your mind. Nate, who you got?
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. I'm going with
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave. I'm gonna go with TLC. T-Boz. That was my girl back in the day. Oh my goodness.
Chili.
I was always chasing them. It is mock draft season. People are chasing prospects. That's when things get a little bit crazy. We love mock draft season. So who's everybody taking? Come on, who are the Colts taking? Are the Patriots taking a quarterback in the first round? A DJ we know, and I'm not talking about Spinderella, thinks that they are. Now, we've also watched the Combine over the weekend, and the drills look tough in a dome and 72 degrees on the turf. What if they were done on the streets of New York City? What if they were done right down at the base of our studio? Jane and Nate and myself, we're gonna go out, we're gonna see how tough they are. Rich Eisen nailed the 40. We're gonna see if we can do the gauntlet, the hip swivel. There'll be a football on a stick. It's gonna be nuts. And you know how the prospects get the Funderlick test, right? We give it to them every week here on the show. It's not the Wonderlick, it's the Funderlick. It's not the knowledge of the game, it's who has the best, biggest personality. And today's prospect is a guy who swims with sharks, and he's not even afraid of it. It's great. It's gonna be a big show.
That's a tease.
Not bad.
Sharks.
Not bad. He really does. He really does.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, let's get it in.
Swimming with sharks and chasing waterfalls. Let's go.
Love it. I mean, we're already off to a great start. Well, let's start with the lead block.
Lead block. Free your mind.
Of course, we were all speculating about what Tom Brady said during a Syracuse basketball game on Saturday after his longtime teammate, that joker, Julian Edelman, said, quote, he's coming back into the camera. It looked like Tom said, no, he's not, but the tape has since been enhanced. Let's take a closer listen.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
This is crazy. Sorry, real quick. What'd you tell Bayheim?
You got it. The plot thickens. Okay.
So it turns out that Tom Brady was saying what advice he gave head coach Jim Boeheim before the game. All right, guys, we all think Tom Brady is going to stay in New England. What do you think about this whole situation, and why do we think that this is the best fit? Kyle, let's start with you.
It's funny because originally that video, everyone thought Edelman was saying he's coming back, and Brady goes, he's not. And now he's actually talking to Boeheim. This video is so big because it's Syracuse and it's football, and like half of the football media went to Syracuse. So for every Adam Shine and Andrew Siciliano and Mike Tirico, they love it. As far as what he's not or what he's doing, listen, I've been saying this for weeks. I think Tom Brady's going back to New England because it's the best fit, and everyone wants to talk about what he would gain when he went to Tennessee or what he'd gain if he went to Las Vegas. What he would lose if he left is he would lose the best football coach in the history of the sport. He would lose Bill Belichick. And I also think we're losing perspective on what happened last year with the Patriots. There's this idea that the Patriots failed him, that they didn't do enough, they didn't bring enough weapons. Guys, that's wrong. Let's look at what the New England Patriots did last year. Spent their first-round pick on a receiver. First-round pick. He got hurt. They brought Josh Gordon back. He had issues. They traded for Mohamed Sanu. He got hurt. They brought in Antonio Brown after he had frozen his feet off and set the whole country on a scavenger hunt for a helmet. He had issues.
And
they
by
did
the way,
everything.
Tom Brady wanted him there.
And I hear he still wants him there, Jane. And this is also a season in which the center David Andrews missed the entire thing. The tackle Isaiah Wynn missed most of the thing. And James Devlin missed most of it. It was a terrible, cataclysmic season for the Patriots last year with their weapons and their linemen, and they finished 12-4. Be very careful getting tempted by the flashy objects in Las Vegas and Tennessee. I know that Brady is not FaceTiming with Bill Belichick. I don't know if Bill Belichick FaceTimes anybody, but remember, you'd be leaving him, and they did not fail him last year. They will not fail him this year. Don't go.
I guarantee next season when it starts, they'll be singing Brady's back.
Back again.
Exactly.
Tell a friend.
Exactly. Tell a friend. Tell everybody in the stadium, because Tom Brady is going to be in a New England Patriots uniform. And I keep bringing up examples from it happening in other sports. History repeats itself. Let's go back to a few different sports.
Do it, Nate.
Roger Clemens, right? You know, Roger Clemens, he went to the Toronto Blue Jays. He won a Cy Young Award, but he didn't have team success. The team wasn't that good. He had to go to the Yankees in order to win an actual World Series. All right, so that actually worked out. But his first stop after he left his team, it didn't work out. All right, what about basketball? I keep bringing up Jordan with the Wizards. Now, Jordan with the Wizards' first year, 22 points a game. I mean, for a guy at his age, that's pretty good. But he's playing with a young, face maskless Rip Hamilton and Kwame Brown.
That's bad.
The reason I bring that up, because Tom Brady could go somewhere, still have a decent season, but the guys surrounding him, they're not able to make plays for him. Kind of like what we saw this past year with the Patriots. The best example recently in football, I would say Peyton Manning. We keep bringing that up. First year with the Broncos, had an amazing, historic, record-breaking season. They didn't win the Super Bowl, though. He won the Super Bowl at the end of his career when his arm was basically falling off of his shoulder, but because he had a great D. So the reason I bring all this up, there's so many other variables that have to take place. What do you want, Tom Brady? Do you want the money? All right, let's check that. Do you want team success? You're going to have to find a team that needs a quarterback. And usually teams that need a quarterback aren't ready to win a Super Bowl. Or do you want individual success? Yeah, Tom Brady can go play for the Bucks and throw it to Godwin and Evans. He can go play for the Titans and throw it to A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. But what is he going to do and what is he going to choose? I say he's going to go back to where his bread is buttered. And that's playing for the New England Patriots where he's most comfortable, a system where he fits the best, and he knows if he puts enough pressure on the organization, they will bring in some talent around him, or else we'll see another repeat of a very good record-wise season, but not enough to win a Super Bowl.
And I think to that point, he's 43 years old.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Why fix something that's not broke? To your point, 12-4 is considered cataclysmic.
Terrible year.
For Patriots fans. You know how many fan bases would love a 12-4 season? I also think there's an element to what you said, Nate. He has such an iconic legacy in New England. You go somewhere else, and while he's got all those skins on the wall of New England, it does dilute the legacy just a little bit.
Yeah.
And at 43, even though he's still at the top of his game, he's got a coach that knows his unique skill set, that's worked with him for years. He's going to continue to set him up to succeed. He's going to have to go and relearn a new playbook. Yeah. He's going to have to acclimate to a new locker room. He's going to have to upend his family. And by the way, he's going to need a facility nearby. TB12 facility is right there in New England. And he seems like such a guy in terms of he needs routine. He's habitual.
Sure.
He's going to uproot all of that and go somewhere else. I think there's people like him that want the next challenge. They want to be able to say they did it somewhere. There are certainly guys who've done it. But why ruin what you've got going in New England? I think it's fun. I think a lot of people love the attention. There's certainly an ego stroke element to it. It helps you realize what you've got in New England. But I'd be shocked if he moved.
No doubt
Unanimous.
about it. No doubt about it.
It's funny because we forget sometimes, but there are actually other free agents that are not Tom Brady. Let's talk about a couple of names right now. There's a few. I mean, they're actually pretty impressive names. That's the list. That's the top 10 at NFL.com. Guys, take your pick right now. Spin the roulette wheel. Timmy, give me a free agent, even off the list, and tell me where you believe is the perfect landing spot for them. Jane, who you got?
I think a lot of people would expect me to go ahead and go with Dak Prescott.
Sure.
But I've been thinking a lot about the Amari Cooper situation because I do think it's going to come down to an Amari Dak because there's so many free agents in Dallas.
Who do you love more?
I think Dak's the guy you got to go with. He is the future of the franchise. Right. He's the face. This guy has galvanized them since his rookie season. But if I'm Amari Cooper, I'm staying within the division. I'm looking at the Eagles.
Okay.
And here's why I'm saying that. Cerebral guy, cerebral locker room. He's used to a 1A, 1B scenario in Dallas with, obviously, it was him and Michael Gallup. Consider Cooper and Alshon Jeffrey, how dangerous that could be. My convos with the Eagles folks at the Combine, receiver. So here's your guy. It's a position that they're hyper-focused on. Cooper is quiet, curious, competitive. Dallas may not be able to retain him. And ahead of Dallas giving up a 1, people forget the Eagles reportedly offered a 2 for him. Do they circle back? He's 25 years old. He's had 5 NFL seasons. And how about this? 4 1,000 receiving yards with 3 different head coaches.
That's kind of crazy.
And I think Doug Peterson's a guy he would really gel with.
And what if they brought in Amari and then Howie Roseman said, screw it, we're going to get Dez too. We're going to bring him and play the Cowboys. That's what I'm talking about. Go get it, Howie.
Yeah, they had
what do you like, Nate?
A lot of drop balls last year, and he's a sure-handed wide receiver. For me, I'm looking at Teddy Bridgewater. You know, he's one of those individuals that we don't talk about enough. I mean, he had that great comeback from that very horrific injury. But let's just talk about last year for a second. Drew Brees, he gets banged up. Teddy Bridgewater goes 5-0. Okay, so where should Teddy Bridgewater go? How about the Chicago Bears? Listen, I know Mitchell Trubisky is the man, right? He's going to be there for as long as they will allow it. But speaking of that, if they don't exercise his 5th year in his contract, this will be his last season as a Chicago Bear. And why not bring in somebody that can compete and possibly steal that position? And in those 5 games, guess what? The last game that Teddy Bridgewater played, who did he beat? The Chicago Bears, where he threw for 2 touchdowns in that game. So you know how it is in this league. You're only as good as the teams that you beat, and the Chicago Bears have a lasting memory of what Teddy Bridgewater did to them as we're watching the highlights. So I feel like he could be an individual that you could bring in for a low amount of money, bring the ultimate competition within that quarterback room, and if he steals the job, then you give him the job. He's proved to be a winner and a guy that can take care of the ball.
And a guy that Sean Payton believed in so much. Yeah. He paid him, $8 million to be the backup quarterback.
A backup.
And then look at the way he galvanized that locker room.
Yep.
I mean, the bike life, the enthusiasm, the excitement, the way that he loved and was embraced in that city. Imagine what he could do in Chicago. And he's only 2 years older than Mitch Trubisky.
He's 27 years old.
Bear's been very quiet about it, very coy, almost too quiet. It's always Mitch.
What you got, KB?
We'll see in the next couple weeks. Well, let's go from a bridge to a hill. I want to talk about Ryan Tannehill. You know, it's interesting because they all this talk about Brady potentially going to Tennessee. And Derrick Henry, of all people, was asked about it, and he kind of said, we got to the AFC Championship game. Why would we not keep Ryan Tannehill? I'll tell you why you wouldn't. Ryan Tannehill, as good as he was last year, there's what I call the cheese puff factor. And I'm going to take you into the big box store. You're going to go in there and you're going to go, and there's always a sample table, all right? And there's the elderly woman with the shower cap. You go and you get a sample of the little cheese puff in the cup. Of course. It's delicious. Yeah. It's so salty. It's so good. You sometimes can fall into the mistake of saying, let's just buy the huge barrel of the cheese puff. Let's spend the $50 for 5,000 cheese puffs. You got to be careful doing that. I think they had a sample of Ryan Tannehill. It was 1 year. Be very careful buying the barrel because sometimes you get 2 or 3 cheese puffs deep. You're like, this is actually kind of gross. It's too salty. I need to rinse my mouth out. I don't need this many cheese puffs. I'm really reticent to look at Ryan Tannehill and say, that's it. Never mind all the years we saw him in Miami, who was kind of average. I'm ready to give him the keys to the kingdom. I see cheese puffs, and I also see a little bit of Nick Foles in Jacksonville, where it's like, wait, we wanted that one. I'm not ready to go and take the giant thing and put it on my.
You'll circle back and get another sample.
A couple more samples. Yeah. And it's a very expensive sample because you may have to tag that sample. Yeah. But in terms of the long-term deal, that's why you wouldn't do it. You haven't seen enough. It's Ryan Tannehill. This is not the guy who fell out of the sky and became Joe Montana. We have history with Tannehill, and it's not all great.
You ever adjust your outfit?
I'm never going to look at him the same way.
He's the cheese puff now?
He's cheese puff guy now.
Sorry, Ryan.
You ever adjust your outfit and circle back for that cheese puff?
Yeah,
try
glasses,
to change your voice?
I'll go fake mustache.
You're like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, can I get it?
We're in here getting the last. Nope, not at all. Not at all.
That was not me.
That might have to be Mike Vrabel. That's the guy. What do you think, Jane? You're flummoxed.
Just literally cheese puffs.
Yeah.
Hungry
for them or grossed out by them now?
Puffs.
There's a theme here. Not a coincidence.
All right, well, is Joe Burrow trying to remake the Bengals roster already? And could the draft tell us what New England thinks of Tom Brady?
Ooh. Yeah, DJ is saying big things about New England. Danny Jeremiah's drunk with power.
There's a lot of hot takes about Tom just not coming back. Right? See big font everywhere.
Good Morning Football is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
As a struggling actor, I need all the breaks that I can get. At Liberty Buchamug.
Cut.
Liberty Bibbity.
Cut. We'll dub it.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good.
My home is my sanctuary. It's where I can just kick back and be totally comfortable in my own skin. You know what I'm saying? Rocket Mortgage understands that home is where I can be myself.
However you get comfortable in your home, Rocket Mortgage helps you feel comfortable financing one with a personalized experience centered around you. Rocket Mortgage. Push button, get mortgage.
You got this.
Take it.
Okay, all right. Good job.
March 15th. Free agency frenzy begins.
Is in for the touchdown.
And NFL Network is there, reporting on live breaking news.
He can bring that magic with him.
League-wide rumors.
This could be a key addition.
And every blockbuster deal.
This guy's a game record. He's a winner.
Oh, my goodness. That's big time there.
Free agency frenzy starts Sunday, March 15th, only on NFL Network.
This is NFL Network, the place where football and culture collide. It's the collision of the GOATs and the MCs.
Tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
With the fashion and the food.
I promise you're going to let them hear. Eat it.
Slammed in with the fans, the stands, and the 12th man. Mashed up with the music.
It's a real big cultural moment right now.
And the movies.
I started watching the show years ago.
Mixed in with the X's and O's and the oohs and ahs.
Are you kidding me?
It's the fantasy.
You can't steer away from Hopkins, but you can certainly take Adams over.
And the reality. It's the access.
People are going to count us out every week.
and the attitude.
Say it to management. Or shut your mouth and put your money on.
It's the trash talk and the crazy talk.
Let's go.
It's all here, all day, every day. Because there's no such thing as too much football.
Time for Will Selva and the newsroom out in Culver City. Good morning, Will.
Good morning to you, Jane. Guys, I was wondering if somebody was going to call out sick after chucking that smoothie yesterday. And obviously, you guys have very strong stomachs, but Peter conspicuously absent.
Yeah.
So maybe he's the gentle flower out of all of you.
He has a weak
Somebody
stomach.
check in on Schrager. Who knows?
He's a weak stomach.
Scary times.
Yes, it is. Very
I just
scary
ruined it
times.
for him, Will. He couldn't come back a second day with me.
No. Glad you're back for a second day, Jane. Lots to get to in the news, as there's been a steady drip of it coming out on the various physical issues quarterback Jameis Winston dealt with last season. A broken thumb, as we mentioned, a torn meniscus, and poor eyesight, which resulted in LASIK eye surgery. Now, the timing of these revelations coinciding with his pending free agency. Peter King of NBC Sports believes the Bucs are likely to move on from Winston, and he will not be a starting QB on opening day in 2020 unless he is in Tampa. Now, another starting quarterback whose future is up in the air is Andy Dalton. The Athletic reporting the Bears have been in touch with the Bengals about acquiring Dalton. The Bears are said to be looking for Mitchell Trubisky to get pushed by another quarterback. New offensive coordinator Bill Lazor, by the way, does have some familiarity with Dalton dating back to his days when he was the QB's coach and OC from 2016 to 2018. In non-QB news, Broncos running back Philip Lindsay proving to be a steal for the team as an undrafted free agent. One would think he would be in line for a new contract, right? But general manager John Elway had said Lindsay would have to wait until after free agency before they would even consider renegotiations. There's apparently a reason for the hesitancy, as 9 News in Denver reports the team has interest in some of the top free agent running backs, including Derrick Henry, Kenyon Drake, and Melvin Gordon. Seahawks running back Marshawn Lynch will be giving a speech at graduation time. Let that sink in for a second. Okay, now that it has, the place where he would be giving his address is Princeton. It would actually be for Princeton's class day, which takes place the day before the commencement ceremony. The senior class is in charge of organizing it. And if it was anything like his final press conference when he talked about taking care of yo chickens and taking care of yo mentals, it should be epic. I'm here for it. But we happen to have a Princeton grad there in studio. KB, what do you think of Beast Mode being there talking at your alma mater?
I think it's absolutely incredible. If someone had come in 2001 and told me to take care of my chicken, I might not be sitting here right now. I absolutely loved it. Thank you, Marshawn. Go crush it. I remember at my graduation, Bill Russell got an honorary degree. Spike Lee got one. Bill Walton. It was incredible, but we did not have Marshawn speak to us. I remember mine a little differently, but I would be there. I might actually go. I might attend that.
You're never going to believe who mine was, Will. I had Cookie Monster at Texas.
Cookie Monster spoke to you?
Wow.
Really?
What?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a huge Sesame Street fan.
That's incredible.
Cookie Monster was.
Who was that yours? Snuffleupagus? Thank you, Will.
I want Marshawn to just look at him and say, I'm just here so you don't get fired.
Ah, that's good. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go to that, for real.
See, that was a nice believe it or not segment. So the Bengals are expected to franchise tag A.J. Green, and according to Peter King, that's exactly what Joe Burrow asked for. This past week, Burrow apparently made it clear to Cincinnati brass he wants them to keep their top receiver. Believe it or not, Joe Burrow should be telling the Bengals who to keep on their roster before he's even been picked, guys.
Yeah.
You liking it?
If they're going to hand over the keys to this young fella, of course. Listen, he's not your typical rookie. This dude isn't 20, 21. I mean, he's like Chris Winkie type age. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's older than the Wink Dog.
The Wink Dog was like 30 when he got in the league. But, you know, he's 24 years old, and he's been through the ups and downs of the collegiate career. He kind of understands what's going on. And this is indeed your future. You want him to be as comfortable as possible. And what else is he going to say if you ask him, should they keep A.J. Brown? Of course he wants one of the best receivers to play within his era. And here's the thing. When he has the power.
A.J. Green, of course.
Yeah, A.J. Green. And when he has the power, and he wills the power, you can make any decision. It's just like my household, man. My wife makes all decisions because she holds all the power. You know what I'm saying, KB?
Yeah.
Shout out to Toya.
Shout out to
Toya Bros. Nate, tell us something that's actually going to surprise us. It's kind of like, you know, LeBron in the same state used to be like, listen, I want Bobby Gibson.
Right.
I want Mike Miller. Right. I want Zadrunas Ilgauskas. Give me Wally Zerbiak. He used to basically he was basically the GM. So I don't mind Joe Burrow saying it. Joe Burrow has always been very honest. He made the joke about hand size. And if someone says, Joe, do you want A.J. Green to be? Of course I do. What am I, stupid? Yes. The question is, should they listen? Because there's also if you give a mouse a cookie factor. Like, this guy's not even on the team yet, and he's already kind of commenting on personnel. So next he wants to change the helmets, and then he wants to do this. If you want to keep A.J. Green, do it because you want to keep A.J. damn Green, not because some guy from LSU says you should.
And I think they also have to be cognizant. There was another guy who wanted to go to his team, Cleveland, who got a lot of autonomy and got a lot of say in personnel decisions, and that hasn't exactly worked out for them. That's not a knock.
Okay.
That's not a knock on Mayfield. I'm just saying, do you want to give the keys to the kingdom to a kid that young? Now, I don't think the way that he said it was that offensive this early on, but I just think you got to be careful.
Yeah, I just think he's wise behind his years. Beyond his years. Yeah, I mean, he's smoking a cigar after winning the biggest game of his life. That's an OG right there.
Yeah. Listen, I don't do casting for this network, but if somebody asks me if I want to keep Nate, I'm saying, yeah, we're going to keep Nate.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
What's he cost? What else we got?
All right, Danielle Jeremiah's post-combine mock draft was released yesterday. He has 4 quarterbacks going in the first round, including the Patriots selecting Justin Herbert at number 23. Now, believe it or not, no matter what happens with Tom Brady, should the Patriots be drafting a QB in the first round?
You know what's funny? My class day speaker at Princeton, currently in prison.
Really?
Yes. We'll move on from that, though. It just occurred to me. If Tom Brady stays, absolutely not. I always hate drafting a quarterback when you already have a quarterback. I hate the Patriots drafting somebody who's never going to play it down, who's going to stand there that could be a tackle or a tight end. It could be the difference between a Super Bowl. Now, if Brady, is gone and becomes a Tennessee Titan, I still don't like drafting it. I like going with a free agent. I like somebody who's been there, who they can work with. Because, guys, let's not forget this Patriots team is awesome. They have the Defensive Player of the Year. They have good playmakers. They got this. They could win this year with somebody like Dalton or Nate's guy Bridgewater. I don't want to start anew with a rookie. I always go with the free agent or Brady.
I'm going to go ahead and draft a wide receiver. Like, don't draft a QB. If we keep talking about how deep this wide receiver class is, then why not, in the end of that first round, find somebody that can help Tom Brady? I get it. You have Julian Edelman. You brought in Mohamed Sanu. N'Keal Harry was a little banged up, but he found his rhythm late. Like, find a guy that fits. Like, if you have Dorsett still there and he's your speed guy, and I'm not currently sure what's going on with his contract situation, and you have Sanu, which is a chain mover, N'Keal, which is the young athletic type, Edelman, which is your every down receiver, then have somebody that fits within that dynamic. And there's so many guys. You have true speedsters in this draft. You have tall guys like T. Higgins. You have big, wide range catch radius
salad
receivers.
bar.
You have everything that you want. So you literally can pick and pluck it into your wide receiver group, so Tom Brady has no excuses and he isn't upset like everybody keeps saying he was last year.
I also think it's so hard for a quarterback as a rookie to come in and be an impact player. I mean, name the last rookie quarterback that won a Super Bowl. So I think, if granted you're going to have contingency plans with Tom Brady being 43. I know Tommy Time thinks he can play forever, and he's certainly shown us that. You've got to start thinking about the next generation, but I do think that if they're looking in the next couple of years going out and getting a quarterback, they've got some other needs to fill. And to your point, maybe they don't have to go out there and make such risky moves in free agency with the wide receiver core if they start developing a wide receiver at the position.
True.
What an exciting time to be alive. We love the time right now. And, guys, if Joe Burrow or Chase Young's the best player in the draft, could the kookiest personality in the draft be a Utah defensive end? What? You know the Wonderlic, but we take guys who have interesting personalities and give them something called the Funderlic. Who's good on Twitter? Who's good on Instagram? Who gives weird interview bites? We'll get into it. And which team needs to maybe get that guy, Cam Newton, or maybe that guy? Are they going to be available? Will they be staying? Will they be moving? We'll get into the biggest moves in free agency. Don't go anywhere. Power Trio Tuesday. Say Kookie? Kookie, yeah.
He's the baddest man to catch a football, bar none.
Launches it for the end zone, Jerry Rice!
If you didn't live to Jerry's standard, you weren't a 49er.
If he saw the ball up in the air, he was going to go get it.
Touchdown 49ers!
I get chills knowing how great he was. He changed the way people played that position.
There we go!
I had that hunger, that desire, and I was not going to let anything stand in my way.
At Amica, we believe in life's extraordinary experiences. We are an insurance company that delivers an experience that meets the only standards higher than ours. Yours. Experience Amica. Auto, home, and life insurance.
Growing up, I never thought I'd be on this side of the counter. As an actual store owner and board member, now I want to bring that Papa Love to the community. Better ingredients, better pizza, better day.
When you need hot or cold therapy for strained or injured muscles, don't give up your freedom to get your therapy. Get that healing feeling with CopperFit Mobile Rapid Relief Wraps. Hot or cold therapy wraps that strap in place and stay in place so you can do what you want while getting the therapy you need.
This is the best solution for icing and heating that I've ever found.
Get that healing feeling with CopperFit Rapid Relief Wraps. Find the entire line of CopperFit Rapid Relief Mobile Wraps now in Walmart Pharmacy.
Call J.G. Wentworth.
J.G. Wentworth, how can I help you get cash?
I want to pay off my debt and move into my own place, but I need cash now to do it.
Do you get regular payments from an insurance company?
Yes, monthly, but the thing is, it's my money and I need it now.
Right. In exchange for some or all of your future payments, we give you a lump sum of cash now. Call now and you'll also get $25 for receiving a quote.
Call 877-CASH-NOW.
Thanks, J.G. Wentworth.
Names matter. Your name and your company's name. At 4imprint, every name and logo is printed with certainty. Right, on time, every time. Guaranteed. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Most jeans are made for average bodies, but there's no such thing as an average person. M. Taylor takes 7 measurements right on your phone for perfectly fitted custom jeans. And getting measured only takes 15 seconds. M. Taylor's machine learning technology guarantees a fit 20% better than a tailor, all without leaving your home. With the M. Taylor app, you'll never need to go to a store or find parking at a mall. And if you don't like your jeans for any reason, shipping and returns are always free. Download M. Taylor for iOS or Android.
Don't wait for a chip like this to crack your whole windshield. With Safelite's exclusive resin, you get a strong repair that you can trust. Plus, with most insurance, a Safelite repair is no cost to you.
Really? Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Tonight on NFL Total Access, the quarterback making us think twice about the first round, the edge rusher making the biggest move, and the NFL stars who will be wearing different uniforms in 2020. Tonight, 7 Eastern.
Dropped the dime again. Might be a Heisman moment right there. Pressure, and he'll be sacked.
Guess who? Chase Young.
Down he goes. Chase Young got there.
He's mobile, has a strong arm, and he's a winner.
Tua goes down the middle for the home run. Holy smokes.
Great job by Jeffrey Okudah. Okudah's having a monster game. Here goes Lamb across midfield.
One of the best receivers in all of America.
Head up that 15 north from Los Angeles because this is really happening. The future of the NFL shines under the bright lights of Sin City. The 2020 NFL Draft is coming to the NFL's newest home, Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah! From the red carpet to the draft stage, college football's best set their sights on the lifelong dream, and nobody has it covered like NFL Network. Find out where the next wave of NFL stars will land. It's April 23rd through April 25th. It is live, and yes, it is right there, Las Vegas. The future is here. Let's go. Lego.
as the kids say, it's going to be lit.
That's what they say, Jane.
Yes.
That is what they say.
All right, time for all caps. All 32 teams' caps are here on the desk, which, by the way, some of these caps are
fire.
Awesome.
Yeah, they really are.
I sort of love the dad boat rope.
You like that rope thing. Everybody likes the rope.
It literally harkens back to my dad on a boat back like literally in the 80s. All right, so with the 2020 Scouting Combine in our rear view, we're going to grab the cap of the team that left Indy with the most to think about before the draft.
Ooh.
All right, so Nate, why don't you go first?
Most to think about before the draft.
Pick one that's lit. Pick one that slaps. All slaps. That's the cool thing to say. All right, go ahead, Nate.
This dude slap. And I'm going with this one right here. I'm going with the Redskins. Listen, there's so much to think about. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to go with a quarterback and try to have another situation like we saw with the Arizona Cardinals where they had Josh Rosen, then they drafted Kyler Murray? Or do they go with Chase Young and then add that to Montez Sweat and the young defensive nucleus that they're trying to build out there? I feel like they will go defense, and it's the Redskins that are on the clock because right now within that division, they need to make a move sooner than later because everybody else is getting better in the NFC East.
I'm coming right after you. These are the brothers here. It's so cold in the D. Guess who comes next? Matty Pat and those Detroit Lions. What are they doing? I don't know. If Chase Young happens to be there, of course you get him. What if Tua is there at 3? Do they just trade him to the highest bidder? Do they take him? Are we doing a Jeff Okudah thing? Are we doing Isaiah? There's a million things Detroit could do. I always like Daniel Jeremiah says, the draft sort of starts with Detroit. I am in so cold in the D. What do you think, Jane?
I'm glad you brought up Tua because I think Tua is going to affect a lot of teams. All right, we've talked about the Dolphins would love to get Tua there with the Redskins now possibly in play for a quarterback at 2. You've got the Lions, of course, at 3, Giants at 4. Could the Dolphins, who are at number 5, make some moves in the event to go get their quarterback?
Yeah.
So I think this has given them something to think about. Interestingly enough, if you think about it, there's only twice since the merger did 3 quarterbacks get taken in the first 4 overall selections. Can you guys name the year?
No.
A water cooler fact.
No.
1999.
Okay.
Couch, McNabb, and Smith.
Great. That was the Ricky Williams draft, Edgerrin James.
Yeah.
Great draft. Wow.
Sam
All right.
Couch, remember
Yeah,
that?
of course. Number 1.
It's like the first Tebow.
Sort of.
All right. What do we got here, Jane?
All right, now let's talk about the free agency frenzy begins before you know it, and we'll have you covered right here on the NFL Network starting March 15th. So again, we already had the cap. We already talked about, obviously, what we're going to do to make the moves. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the team that makes the biggest move in free agency.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. How about the New England Patriots? I know we just got that. Put this hat on.
Not me. Don't look at me. I do the one-hinger.
I know you do. You got the big brain. All right, so I'm going with the Patriots. I mean, and it's not just about going and getting guys from the outside in. How about the guys they already have on their roster? Tom Brady, that's number 1. Devin McCourty. How about Jamie Collins? What about the best special teams player of all time, Matthew Slater? Is a free agent.
That's the GOAT.
It's like you can't have a Patriots team without Matthew Slater being on the roster. And I know there's other individuals that are sitting there waiting, trying to figure out if the Patriots will snag them. And I know a lot of guys want money, but like I've always said, if I could talk to young Nate Burleson, who went through free agency 3 times, I would say, you know what? It's not always about the money. It could be about the legacy. So consider the free agents that are out there that are sitting back saying, man, I hope the Patriots call me. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater's hoping the Patriots call. I'll take a discount to go there. You know, guys like Amari Cooper that are hoping that the Patriots call. I know A.J. Green has a situation going on with the Cincinnati Bengals, but you just hope that the Patriots call. I feel like there's a lot of individuals that want that ring or at least a chance to get it versus going and get money elsewhere.
Cooper, New England would be intriguing.
You like Cooper, New England? I'm gonna retort to that. There's a team, and also in the AFC East, that has $82 million to spend, and that's a lot of money to pay some bills. Let's go right here. I don't know if you know this team. They were in the playoffs last year. They happened to be in the same division as the Patriots, and there was a sense last year in the middle of the season as the Bills were surging that at the trade deadline they might make that killer move that get us over the top, beat New England move. They didn't make it. I want Amari Cooper in Buffalo. I want him bad. I don't know, Jane, you know a little bit about his personality. It's a little unique. The market's a little unique. He's not the guy who needs the bright lights necessarily. And he and Josh Allen running bombs up and down the field. This is the empire move, as Heisenberg would say. This is the Patriots are washed up move. The Jets aren't going to be the thing. This is our division move. I would love to see a big, bold, dynamic splash by Buffalo, who doesn't always make a lot.
They have the money.
They do have the money. They got John Brown. They got Josh Allen. They got running back. They got everything. I want a superstar, and I think number 19 in Buffalo would be awesome.
And it worked for Cole Beasley, who
I got him too.
Yeah,
you're right. There'd be like a reunion, Jane.
All right. Well, I got to say the Cowboys. So Obviously Dak Prescott's going to be one of their biggest. This one is a little bit tight too.
Okay.
All right.
Looks tight as well.
Okay. So Cowboys, obviously you've got to do something with Dak Prescott, but I also think what they need to do is they haven't made a big splash in free agency since really Brandon Carr, if you think about it. And that's because they can't simply afford it. They've been trying to retain all their guys. They've got 24 free agents. But if maybe it's not a monster splash in free agency, maybe it's a good splash in free agency, like a Michael Bennett. Because I thought Michael Bennett provided them some veteran leadership in that locker room. He was a guy that had won something. And then there was some frustration there because he knows what it's like to have that winning mentality. I mean, when you look at this team, just their records, 2-6 last year versus team with winning records. They went 8-8. The chemistry was off. The locker room dynamic wasn't the way that it was in the years past. I think they need to make some move to bring in a guy that can give them a little stability.
Yeah, I like that. They don't need the monster splash, right? Yeah. Just a little Greg Louganis tiny splash. It works. Okay, what else we got?
All right, what else we got?
All right, well, it's never too early to start talking about the draft. And after what you saw at the Combine, we're now going to grab the cap of the team that we want to see make a big trade up in the draft.
Okay, I'm going with the Panthers. And they say trades rule everything around me. And Matt Rule has an opportunity with the number 7 pick, and I believe they have number 38 as well, or number 38 as well. So how about you piece those together, trade up? If indeed that you don't think that Cam Newton is your guy moving forward, how about you get a young quarterback that's sitting there, maybe Tua sitting on ice for a year, playing behind a guy like Cam Newton. Boom.
Go ahead, Jane. What do you got?
All right, I'm going with the Raiders. Let's make a splash while we're in.
Here we go. A lot of splashes.
Right? And the reason why I'm saying that, they've got the 12th and 19th overall pick, and let's not forget they have the 3 third-round picks. So they've got a lot of house money to play with. Make a splash. Let's do something dynamic and get people excited about the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm way into that, and I'm saying you can't find a Gettleman. Dave Gettleman, my man, do something. You're sitting there we're open for business. They can move up if they're feeling crazy, like they want to do something nuts, like go get Chase Young, or they can move way back, or they can sit tight. All I want is just one fat, juicy soundbite from Dave Gettleman during and after the draft, and he always delivers. If you need to get a man, you can get him, man. That's my guy. Let's go. Go get him, Dave.
He always has something, doesn't he?
You're right about that. Now, speaking of open for business, Kansas City Chiefs. What about open for business? Because
they better.
The MVP, he spoke out about his contract, and I think we all agree he should get paid. The question is, how much?
Do you get confused by wireless network claims? I don't blame you. The most reliable, the most awarded, the best, the fastest, the best and the fastest. Enough. Sprint is doing things differently. They're offering a 100% total satisfaction guarantee. So you can try out the network and see the savings for yourself. And now get a Samsung Galaxy phone for just $0 per month when you switch to Sprint. Now that's a deal.
This right here is the new papadilla, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Latin for better than a sandwich. Even has a better pickle. Get a new papadilla for $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Enterprise Car Sales has access to over 500,000 pre-owned vehicles, most with tech features like blind spot detection, backup camera,
because you never know what might be behind you.
Does the sloth come standard?
Looking to buy? Enterprise makes it easy.
I was in, y'all's situation. My sophomore year, I got arrested. We have kids feeling like they need to commit crimes because their house is not stable, no support system. So what you supposed to do? Everything can change, man. You got to show somebody that you really care, that you're trying to change. I started this foundation to help you reach your goals, no matter if we have to dish out 100 school books, 100 book bags. Tough times don't last, tough people do.
When I started Cobra Kai, the lack of control over my business made me a little intense. But now QuickBooks helps me get paid, manage cash flow, and run payroll. And now I'm back on top with Koala Kai.
Save over 40 hours a month with Intuit QuickBooks.
You're not going to drive without insurance. That's as crazy as starting a skunk farm in your backyard.
Easy, Petunia. Back up. Seabreeze. I gotta call the General.
Thinking of driving without insurance? Don't delay because you've missed a few payments. From your home.
And on your phone.
The General has affordable rates even with less than perfect credit.
Just got insurance from the General. Smell you later.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
This is a payday bar. It has a truckload of peanuts and a caramel core that gets the job done. It's 10.5 centimeters of awesome. Unless you get the king size, which is 14.7 centimeters of oh yeah. Payday. Get to it.
With the savings rates offered at some banks, your money almost feels like it's frozen. With Capital One, you can open a new savings account in about 5 minutes and earn 5 times the national average. This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
All this week, we're replaying every episode of the NFL 100 All-Time Team.
You had a way of making people think they were open just to set the trap.
It's hard to get there, and it's so hard to win it.
Ray, you're one of the most complete players that ever played the game.
Just this big, enormous guy that is unstoppable.
All of these great wide receivers, they didn't do it the way he do.
Being the company of these men, pretty sweet.
I'm Unique Ngakoue, and this is Good Morning Football.
And Ngakoue with the shout out and happier times here on Good Morning Football. We'll settle with you here inside the NFL Network newsroom, and we begin with news out of Duval. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting that the Jags plan to franchise tag Ngakoue and have him play for them in 2020. But one problem here. The star defensive end announced his desire to play elsewhere via social media on Monday. Ngakoue posted on Twitter and Instagram, quote, "The Jaguars are aware I no longer have interest in signing a long-term contract in Jacksonville. Duval, I love you and gave you guys everything I got. I'm thankful for the journey and look forward to continuing my career elsewhere." Ngakoue with 37.5 sacks in 4 seasons with the Jags. Highly productive player. Ian also reporting the Chargers would like to work out a multi-year deal with tight end Hunter Henry. If this doesn't happen, they're likely to franchise tag him. Under the franchise tag, he would get a significant bump in pay from his $1.2 million base salary. Henry had 55 catches for 652 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now, the Chargers want Henry, but veteran defensive tackle Dantari Poe is not feeling the love in Carolina. The Athletic reporting the Panthers are not expected to pick up Poe's 2020 option. Poe is recovering from surgery on a torn quad he suffered in Week 12. Before that, Poe had only missed 2 games in his previous 7 seasons. And according to reports, the Cowboys are expected to let Byron Jones test the open market when free agency opens March 18th. And the growing sense is that the Raiders have an interest in bringing him to Las Vegas, that according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal. The Raiders have more than $50 million to spend under the salary cap. The Cowboys have 25 pending unrestricted free agents, among them quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receiver Amari Cooper. So a lot of decisions there, Jane. You are so dialed in on this team and their comings and goings. What's the skinny on Jones?
Well, you know, it is going to be interesting because while they've had conversations with a lot of these players and, of course, their agents, the problem is they're still waiting on the CBA to see what sort of money they're going to have in the coffer and who they can pay. Byron Jones is incredibly well respected within this organization, a guy that played safety for them, who played corner. And I do think it's intriguing that now you've got the Raiders that are expressing an interest. Rod Marinelli, of course, headed to the Raiders. And then you've got Rich Bisaccia there, too, on special teams. So 2 guys that at least know him from being in the building, know his character, know his buildup. As we were talking about earlier, wherever Byron Jones goes, he's such a locker room guy. You're never going to have a problem with him. He does things the right way. He's going to be a good addition for anyone who gets him. It's unfortunate the Cowboys don't have the cap room, really, in order to retain him, because I know it's a guy that they'd like to keep.
And that's the name of the game, man, not being able to retain guys that were so dominant. You know, he came in with so much buzz. I remember that combine, him being so uber athletic. And I was like, wow, this guy, if he can translate what he has done at the combine and testing to the next level, and that's exactly what he's done over the last couple of years. Think about the Raiders. They got some young talent. I mean, shout out to everything that they're building out there. Gruden has done a great job. Mayock has brought a different type of energy to this squad. Think about their D-line and John Abrams being banged up last year and being healthy this year. You add in a guy like Byron Jones, this could be a next-level defense that could really do some damage in the AFC West.
AFC West is going to be loaded, but also the NFC, guys. We're going to get into it next. What new head coaches? 3 new head coaches. What does that mean for the NFC East? Talk a lot of NFC East on the show. Byron Jones apparently leaving it. That man will be there. That man will be there. A lot of turnover. Who's got the most work to do in the NFC East?
Beast in the East.
Beast in the East. And who is this man? That is Utah defensive end Bradley Anai. He has opinions on relationships, on swimming with sharks, on pickles. I'm not making any of this up. This could be one of the great next personalities in this league. This is his nickname.
Everyone loves the benefits of compression socks, but they're just so hard to get on. Until now. Introducing the all-new Copperfit Energy Socks, redesigned for the first ever easy on, easy off fit to help reduce swelling, relieve tired, achy muscles, and provide energizing support. A new blend of stretch fabric for the most comfortable, easy on, easy off compression fit.
Being a SWAT commander, we train to win. The Copperfit Energy Socks, they didn't feel like other compression socks. They totally exceeded my expectations.
Our most powerful copper-infused fabric, woven into our easy on, easy off compression sock to help reduce swelling discomfort from prolonged sitting or standing.
I'm 38 and a half weeks pregnant. Copperfit Energy Socks worked beautifully.
Extra support around the arch and ankles for increased support and relief of muscle aches and pains.
I'm so excited about these socks. I'm so much more energized to go do things after a day of work. They just slip right on, yet they still have that same compression that you want.
A soft cushion footbed for all-day comfort.
I'm on my feet at least 9 to 10 hours a day. These were fantastic. A lot of compression socks are a little too thin, especially for what I do. With Copperfit, I could wear these every day.
Feel more energized, feel more active, just feel better.
They just hug your leg. It relieves all the pressure that you have. I have so much energy, I can go, hey, you want to dance?
The first ever easy on, easy off compression sock. The most comfortable compression sock you will ever wear. Get your Copperfit Energy Socks now online at GetEnergySocks.com for only $19.99. Call 1-800-343-4501. Order right now and we'll include a second pair of compression socks free.
I've never felt anything like it before.
No more pain, no more swelling, no more achy, tired feet.
I can never go back to regular compression socks again.
Don't settle for ordinary. Ask for the original by name, Copperfit Energy Socks.
March 15th. Free agency frenzy begins.
Is in for the touchdown.
And NFL Network is there, reporting on live breaking news.
He can bring that magic with him.
League-wide rumors.
This could be a key addition.
And every blockbuster deal.
This guy's a game record. He's a winner.
Oh, my goodness. That's big time there.
Free agency frenzy starts Sunday, March 15th, only on NFL Network.
I want to use my platform to speak out for people who can't speak out for themselves. Whether it was criminal justice reform, education disparity, police community engagement, it's like, let me do my part. It started with this bill to restore voting rights.
Players from the Saints helped that law get passed because they got involved.
When an athlete steps up, people listen.
It's the power of collaboration. That's how we create change.
I really wanted to see how I could help the inequality in our education system. The name of this book is David Goes to School.
One of the first things he did was send our kids to a writing workshop. He actually went there with them, and that makes a big difference.
I'm proud of what he's doing in the community that he loves.
It's extreme pride to represent where you're from and make people proud.
We put them through a test, not the Wonderlick, it's the Thunderlick. Defensive end Chase Winovich. Phil Collins sold his soul for that soundtrack. Because I agree 100%. The animated Tarzan was amazing. You got an 8.7 and our very first ever Thunderlick. Florida defensive end Ja'Kai Polite.
Nobody has leftover mac and cheese. There will never be leftover mac and cheese, and I'm at the table. Let me tell you about Kelvin Harmon.
He says trying out a new barber is top 5 scariest moments.
It's going to a new barber, and they say, what do you want? And they just pull out those clippers, and they give you the 0.
Official Thunderlick score of 7.7 for Kelvin Harmon. All right, let's go. At this point, it's after the combine. We already found out who's the strongest, who's the fastest. We're interested in who's the funniest, who's the strangest, who's the best on Twitter. We want to know about the Wonderlick, sure. But today we're going to do the Funderlick. That's when we test the prospect's personality. And our second subject for the 2020 Funderlick exam is Utah defensive end Bradley Anae. Let me tell you a little bit about him. Originally from Hawaii, Anae grew up doing, quote, island boy stuff. Now that means he's cliff diving, he's surfing, he's hiking, everything you could imagine. Despite playing at Utah, he has strong family ties to BYU. His dad, uncles, even grandfather all played for the Cougars. Did really well at the combine. Impressive numbers, 4.9 40, 25 reps on the bench, 31 inches on the vert. There he is running that 4.9. It's originally maybe a second, maybe a third. There's even some people saying he could sneak into the first round. So let's say your team takes Bradley Anae. What kind of interviews is he going to do? What kind of Twitter follow is he going to be? First of all, what's a player comp? We try to draw a different personality comparison to a player you already know. And I'm getting Alvin Kamara vibes from this guy. Let me tell you what I mean. A little soft-spoken in the interview, a little understated, but he picks up the tweets, he goes crazy, does interesting observations, a man of the people. You know, Jane, you're around Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, love the guy.
He's got something to say when he wants to say it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this in 3 different categories. We're going to judge Bradley Anae. There's going to be a social media category, an interview, and then does he have any takes? What are his strong opinions? Jane, you're up first. You're going to be judging the social media category. Are you ready?
My bosses are going to love this.
Let's do it.
That's one of my strengths.
As we know, this is an expert right here, Jane Slater. First of all, you think the letter W got its name because it looks like a double U? A lot of thoughts there. It's kind of strange, kind of interesting.
Deep thought.
Am I the only one who didn't know a pickle is a marinated cucumber? Did everybody at the table know that? I did. Nate, be honest.
These are the kind of thoughts you have when you got the munchies.
Talk about it. Nate, here we go.
Sure, if I put that
So he's doing pickles. Now, how about, what is he doing? Look at him on the gram. Bam! Backflip, cliff dive into the ocean. Jane, you like this type of thing. Front flip, you're right.
I'm looking at the tweets and now this this clip, and I'm beginning to question his decision-making skills.
It is a strange marriage. It's a very, and there's another one. One scout was quoted as talking about Bradley Anae's meatheadedness. They might have a meathead factor. And what did he tweet in response? This is great. This is the kind of stuff that I like out of my players that we're talking about on TV. Okay. Do we have the tweet in response? Considering retirement after news of my meatheadedness circulating the scouting community, please keep me in your thoughts. That was kind of his own take on the Joe Burrow small hands tweet. So it's a little cheeky, right?
A little cheeky. I like
so, Jane, I don't know what you do with that. We got W's, we got pickles, cliff diving, and meatheadedness.
Okay.
What did you judge him on a scale of 1 to 10? Bradley Anae from Utah.
Okay. I took this a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
I went a 10 plus for meathead status, a 5 for his deep thoughts, and 6 for his adventure inclination.
Yes. Okay. So that's a composite score, I would say, of a 6 or a 7.
7.
Let's give him a 7. I like your scoring 10 plus for the meathead, so that's a 7 in social media.
That's pretty good.
It's really good. That's really good. That puts him right in the running. Laviska Shenault from Colorado, the wide receiver, was our first subject, and he was right around that range too. Okay. Nate, let's get into it. Interview. Ready? Interview. He was asked about swimming with sharks, and I mean that literally. And what's crazy about this is he is so chill about it. He even calls sharks water dogs. Take it away.
Just an island boy, local boy. We just go out there and we don't mind. I go diving and we see sharks and they're harmless.
So how close have you gotten to a tiger shark?
I try not to even get in the water with one. They get hungry and they don't know how to tell a turtle from a human.
All right, so Nate, he said that it's no big deal. He kind of refers to swimming with sharks like one would walking amongst squirrels in Central Park. What do you think of his take, his sort of eccentric, no big deal type attitude?
He's a little bit relaxed, and I can appreciate that. I don't mess with sharks, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I can swim. I'm not trying to perpetuate that stereotype. But
always.
I'm going with the solid 8, though. I was going to give him... What's up, Kyle?
What kind of 8 is that, Nate? Don't turn that sideways. You got the 8. Go ahead.
He saw pastries, so he went with donuts this morning.
That's one way to say it.
These are donuts.
He's got an 8.
I'm going with the 8. Is that a snort, Jane?
Jane's snorting. We got his show. Yes. All right, you got an 8 for the shark swimming?
Yeah.
All right, Nate, that's good. Never change, Nate. Ever.
Thank you.
Finally, you have the takes category. Does this gentleman have something to say? In this day and age, you got to have opinions. You got to have stances. This one, we're going to bring in Will Salva, who always has plenty of both. Will out in Culver City, our newsman, our friend, our brother. Will, we had this take come from Bradley Anae, and it's a little bit poetic, a little bit romantic. He says, like the saying, They move on that fast? It was never meant, with a little lightning bolts. Will, you're a family man, a married man. It's kind of a relationship take here. What are your thoughts on Bradley and I's sort of, if they leave that quickly, it was never going to be a thing anyway, take?
I think it's a poetic one, but I think I'd give him a 6 at this point in time. I thought he's had better takes, in my opinion. In terms of the relationship that he's talking about, I think he has that oneness with the island. I picture him like surfing in the water, and he said, you know what? Never meant. I think that is actually a song lyric, the name of a song from a group called American Band or American Football. They're a band, so I think he used never meant from the band. So I'm trying to bring this all together. He's a guy that likes to reflect and think about things. So I give it around a 6 on the relationship.
All right, a 6 from Will. If only we get Will a slightly larger whiteboard so we can see it.
It's too
unbelievable. Look at that. Will got a drive-in movie theater from Van Nuys. Thank you, Will. He gets a 6, which is kind of a low score. Jane, why are you holding up a 10 for Will's take?
Will's take is far more superior. He gets a 10. I mean, he brought that full circle. He had a deep thought.
He really did. He knew the lyrics.
I was
he knew
going
the
in
band.
the rabbit hole there with him.
If we were judging Will, he'd have 10s across the board. But we're not. We're judging Bradley Anai from Utah, and he gets a 6, kind of a low score on the take. So can we tabulate the final score and see where he ranks in the hierarchy here? So I said Laviska Shenault Jr., the wide receiver from Colorado, went last week, 7.3. And unfortunately, Bradley Anai does not become the clubhouse leader. He's down at a 7, due in no small part to Selva's 6. And Nate, why are you flummoxed?
I just, the size of my whiteboard compared to Will's.
Yeah, talk about it.
I mean, the size of his equipment just makes me feel really inadequate, man.
I would get it, yeah. I mean, it is a whiteboard, Nate. That's it. We love Bradley Anai. Nate also loves all kinds of jokes about pastries and all kinds of stuff. If you have a better personality than him or someone you can recommend, tweet us at GMFB. That is
a lot of deep thoughts going on this morning.
It's the best.
And so
many pastries. Oh, look, here you go. This is a real one.
I want this.
What do we got next? We're doing power rankings of the NFC East.
Power ranking? What? Of the NFC East? All right. Eagles, Cowboys, Redskins, Giants. How do you rank them?
I can't believe it. That child really was raised by wolves?
Which one's your mother?
Oh, that's her right there.
Oh, gosh. No. I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico. It's really great.
Well, I'm just so glad to have met your beautiful family, and we better be sitting down now.
Believe it, Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Paste, the incredible rubberized paste. Right out of the tub, Flex Paste is super thick. It clings to the surface and it instantly fills gaps and holes. Flex Paste penetrates deep into hard-to-reach areas. Use Flex Paste on wood, tile, metal, all types of surfaces. And once it dries, it turns to this, a strong, flexible rubber. Flex Paste is tough stuff. Now that's a lot of damage. But with Flex Paste, you can create a watertight seal. Get Flex Paste and the Flex Seal family of products at flexsealproducts.com.
Don't wait for a chip like this to crack your whole windshield. With Safelite's exclusive resin, you get a strong repair that you can trust. Plus, with most insurance, a Safelite repair is no cost to you.
Really? Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Don't look good.
Yeah, it looks like it's both. Just what I don't need.
This is what you do need.
Complete the application within minutes, and if approved, you may get the money you need as soon as the same business day. Get the cash you need fast. Apply online today. Go to CashNetUSA.com.
When you need hot or cold therapy for strained or injured muscles, don't give up your freedom to get your therapy. Get that healing feeling with CopperFit Mobile Rapid Relief Wraps. Hot or cold therapy wraps that strap in place and stay in place so you can do what you want while getting the therapy you need.
This is the best solution for icing and heating that I've ever found.
Get that healing feeling with CopperFit Rapid Relief Wraps. Find the entire line of CopperFit Rapid Relief Mobile Wraps now in Walmart Pharmacy.
He's the baddest man to catch a football, bar none.
Launches it for the end zone, Jerry Rice!
If you didn't live to Jerry's standard, you weren't a 49er.
He saw the ball up in the air, he was going to go get it.
Touchdown 49ers!
I get chills knowing how great he was. He changed the way people played that position.
There we go!
I had that hunger, that desire, and I was not going to let anything stand in my way.
The coaching carousel spun around in the NFC East this offseason. New faces at the helm in Washington, Dallas, and New York. Can any of these head coaches dethrone the Eagles as NFC East champions? That's coming up right now on Good Morning Football. Welcome to Good Morning Football. We are live in New York City. It's Tuesday, March 3rd. My name is Jane Slater, in for Kay Adams, alongside Nate Burleson and Kyle Brandt. Guys, good morning to you.
What's up, Jane? What's up? Awesome to see you here. You having a good time?
I'm having so much fun. You guys make it so easy, and New York City was absolutely gorgeous on Monday. Spent 3 hours in Central Park.
Look at you.
That was what you did. Good yesterday. Weather, yeah.
Wow, what are you doing? Reading or something like that?
I was just walking around. I was a nanny here when I was in college, so went to some of the old stomping spots. There's this place you guys have to go. It's called Three Guys.
Okay.
They have the best chicken piccata. It's up on the Upper East Side, so I stopped in there and said, "What's up?" And yeah,
you have me a piccata. Let's do it.
So good. All right, well, time for the lead block.
Time for the lead block.
Let's start in the NFC East, something I know a little something about. 3 new head coaches, star players entering free agency, first-round draft picks, and, of course, much more. So which storyline in the NFC East are you guys following most closely this offseason? We'll start with you, Kyle.
Dak all day. And, I've said a lot that I really do believe that the Dak, take less money to stay a Dallas Cowboy for life thing will really behoove you in the long run. I've said that from the get-go. And I think this week there's some things that happened that made that case even more powerful. If I was Team Jones and I was going to try to pitch Dak, we want to win a Super Bowl. We want to pay Amari. We want to pay everybody. And we want to pay you. We just need you to take a little less. This is what I would do. I'd bring him into a room. I'd turn the lights down. I'd do a little old-fashioned slideshow. All right? And the first slide that I would show Dak when it comes to being a Cowboy for life is this slide right here. Give me the picture, please. There it is. And I would say, Dak, that gentleman just made $18 million a year from CBS. Do you really think that they would be in that position, we would make that money doing that job if he was, I don't know, a Tennessee Titan or a Denver Bronco or any team other than the Cowboys? And then I'm going to go to the next slide.
Look at Drew Kaliski.
But hi, Drew. How you doing?
Can't afford him.
I'm going to go to the next one. Oh, that happens to be the #1 color guy on Fox after we showed the #1 color guy on CBS. That worked out pretty well for him. Then I'm going to go to the next slide. Dak, please take less money.
Keeps going?
Look at this. Oh, that's Jason Witten, who walked out of a play, had 0 broadcasting experience, and became the #1 color guy on ESPN because he was a Cowboy.
Fresh off the field.
And I got one more. What about someone on the NFL Network? Does anyone get any? Oh, look, then remind me, what team did he play for?
Yeah.
Dak, this is you, buddy. Listen to me. You could go somewhere else and maybe make more money. Maybe you could even win, but you're going to win for the 40 years, 50 years after you're done playing football. Look at those guys. That could be you. $18 million. By the time you get out, it could be $25 a year, and you ain't getting that with any other team. Romo money, my friend. Make it later. Take less now. Go.
Not to mention you've got Deion Sanders on TV.
Yes, talk about
it.
Keep going.
I hate having his contract tied to futures. I mean, this is a guy that literally played for under $500,000 the last couple of years. We've talked about everything that he's gotten them through and gotten them past. This is the market for the quarterbacks. Honestly, the Cowboys, if they didn't want to pay him this sort of money, they should have paid him before Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. But this is where they're at. So I'm with you. I think it's an intriguing storyline, Kyle. But, we've been hearing this narrative for a while, and I'm telling you, I think Dak and his teammates are a little frustrated with it.
Jane, can I ask you a question? Do you think Dak has it in him to ever say, screw this. I'm tired of being the nice guy. I'm tired of showing up. I'm tired of everybody else getting paid. I want a huge deal for $35 million plus a year, or I'm not showing up, and see what you can do without me. Does he have that in him? Because it might be that time.
I think he saw that it worked for Ezekiel Elliott.
Did, like a charm.
And I think Todd France is wheeling and dealing this deal, and instead of getting scared into signing something in September, they tabled the talks. He played through the season and he bet on himself. I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to let it get acrimonious, but I also think he's a guy that knows his worth. He's a confident guy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Listen, Kyle, I've been the pay the man guy, just like every former football player that's on a sports show. But over the last couple of weeks, you've convinced me, along with having Emmitt Smith on during the Super Bowl and saying being a Cowboy is the gift that keeps on giving.
But he didn't take any pay cuts and he held out.
That's true. But I feel like if Jerry Jones, he goes to Dak and he's like, listen, if you give us a discount, I will make all of this count for you, and you will be a Cowboy for life, which is a big deal. So I don't want to touch on it much more than that because you did a great job. I want to kind of move on a little bit of a turn and go to the Redskins, because if we're talking teams in the NFC East, like, what are they going to do with that pick? Because, you say it all the time, Kyle, certain decisions can change or alter your future. This pick can be that. If they're convinced that Dwayne Haskins is their man, do you go defense? Do you go get a guy who is Chase Young talent, Simmons, or do you say, you know what, we're not convinced that Dwayne is our guy, let's go get Tua Tagovailoa. And if we get him, then we can have a situation where we can move Dwayne Haskins and build towards a future with a young Tua. I think that with everybody else getting better within the division, the Redskins have a decision. Either they're going to be at the bottom of the NFC East, or they can make a draft pick that can change the trajectory of their organization for the next decade.
See, and I'm looking at the Eagles. It's like, how are we just, 2 years removed from the championship? And, granted, the number of injuries last year were remarkable. I mean, go down the list. Darren Sproles, Corey Clement, Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson, Ronald Darby. And that's their entire roster. They were 6-3 in their last 9 regular games of the season, 4 straight wins to end the regular season, and literally surpassed the Cowboys. It looked like a shoo-in for the NFC East. And then, oh, by the way, we were just talking about the Redskins. You've made moves to your coaching staff. The Giants made wholesale changes. The Cowboys made wholesale changes. What's Doug Peterson going to have to do in order to convince Howie and them that they don't need to make changes with the Eagles?
You're right.
So I think this is going to be an interesting season for them because they certainly have the talent. We heard about some of the friction in the locker room. I personally loved Doug Peterson going out there and essentially guaranteeing wins for his team. It spoke to, him being the former player. It spoke to him believing in his team. I think his team respects him. I'd like to see them sort of, and this is going to be sacrilegious for the fact that I cover the Cowboys.
Let it rip, Jane.
I think the NFC East is better when the Eagles are better. So I'd like to see them sort of turn the corner this year, so that's something I'll certainly be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, last year was ridiculous. We're seeing pictures and Deshaun Jackson catching touchdowns. You forget he was even on that team, and they overachieved. That's all wiped out now. And now in the post-Super Bowl era, it's Super Bowl or bust. It's not Redskins, we won 7-9, that's cool, or the Cowboys, we win the division. No, the Eagles have to win the Super Bowl this year, or it's a disappointment. And Roseman and Doug Peterson know that.
All right, so which NFC East team do you guys believe has the most work to do this offseason? And we've sort of covered some of the warts that are attached to some of these teams, some of the things that they've got to work on. We'll start with you.
Yeah, let's bring it right back to the Cowboys. You mentioned it, Jane. 21 unrestricted free. That's crazy. 21 unrestricted free agents. This isn't a team that's coming off of a Super Bowl where, you know what, we have a little bit of time. The coach has a leash. No. I mean, it's on the flip side of that. They bring in Mike McCarthy. They want him to win right now. I mean, if you're familiar with the Green Bay Packers and what Mike McCarthy did, you know that he's used to having success. So why not bring that success here? And with everybody getting better, listen, it seems like the Redskins and the Giants were in the basement of the NFC East. And the Cowboys, with the way they started the season, were actually sitting in the master bedroom. The Eagles, they were sitting somewhere in the living room. But the Cowboys, with how they ended, went from the master bedroom to, like, the people under the stairs.
Yeah, it's crazy. You don't want to be under there.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? The last game of the season, all they got to do is win, and they're in with all of that talent, and they couldn't do it. I feel like they have the most work to do. It starts the infrastructure of that roster. Who are they going to keep? Who are they going to let go? And then after that, Mike McCarthy. How are you going to bring that winning mentality? I know, listen, for people that are Cowboys fans, he's not going to turn Dak Prescott into Aaron Rodgers. They're two completely different individuals. But what we're trying to find is a creative flow to the offense so they don't sputter at times and then look great at times. too wildly inconsistent to have any success in their division.
It's interesting, Jane. I think they made a mistake. I think they should have replaced Jason Garrett midseason, and I think it could have saved this season. They didn't. We haven't gotten your take on this. Nate covered the football. What do you think Mike McCarthy will do? Just the vibe of the team, a fresh start, someone new talking. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a singular voice. In other words, the one thing that I saw in Dallas that was happening a lot was because Jason had been there for so long, because he was sort of a guy that was anointed by Jerry as his first head coaching position. I don't believe they ever took the handcuffs off him. I mean, it got better over the years, and I certainly think he had the respect of his locker room. But there were also cases where some of these veteran guys would just go straight to the principal's office when they had a problem. You can't have that in an organization. That was I saw text messages from
That's fascinating, Jane,
where that took place. Just blatant disrespect to the head coach. What we're seeing in Dallas, and even Jerry admitted it last week at the Combine, Mike McCarthy is getting the sort of autonomy in that organization that we haven't really seen since Jimmy. And I think that's what this team needs. I think that there's a new sheriff in town. I think he's going to hold these guys accountable. A lot of these guys haven't, he hasn't been sitting down having warm, fuzzy conversations with them. He's putting together the framework right now. He's putting together his coaching staff. He's looking, at the talent he's trying to build on his roster, but he hasn't brought any of these guys in and taken them out to dinner and said, let's have some warm, fuzzy conversations. And I think that that's needed in Dallas. So it's sort of a wait and see approach, but it's certainly a different approach than what we're used to seeing. With that being said, I sort of love that he's loose, he's candid, he's entertaining up on the podium, even when he's not telling us stuff that we necessarily want to write in our articles or that are major headlines. It's fresh, though.
Okay. It's real.
And he's got skins.
He does. He's got big-time skins. It's funny, we're in New York, and we haven't mentioned one of the teams in the NFC East that we got to get to. Jane, you mentioned warm, fuzzy conversations with your players as a new coach. There's not having those, and then there's not even acknowledging their existence on the planet Earth. And when Joe Judge, the New York Giants' new head coach, sat with Schrager, he wasn't here to talk about anybody. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm not going to go into too many specifics with individual players. And be honest with you, I'll kind of tell you right now and kind of lay it out. There's going to be a lot of questions about individual players. And look, at this point right here, every one of our players has a blank slate. They're going to have a chance to come in and compete. So I'm not going to go ahead and try to change the status of anybody or create a hierarchy in the program right now by talking about individuals.
All right, I love it. This is tremendous because this is a new approach to it. You're coming in now, you're 38 years old, but you're like, here's how I'm going to set the standard. This is what it is. You're laying it down. Not going to start listing what I like about Saquon, not going to do all this stuff. And the reasoning for that is what?
Well, look, they all have strengths. It's tough for me to tell everyone on the team that you have a blank slate, everyone's on equal playing ground. But I just spent the last month, on a tour talking about individual players and how we're going to use them. The truth is we don't know how we're going to use everyone until we get them on the field and really see how they're reacting within our schemes. So everybody has a clean slate. Everyone's going to get a chance to come in every day and compete for the job they want. They can earn everything they get.
That thing's aging like wine. We love that. Now, understand, DJ and Schrager, with respect to them, they're lobbing softballs to the coach about how great is it going to be to work with Saquon? How are you excited to get to work with Daniel Jones? I'm not talking about anybody. No one's anointed.
Don't want to get into specifics.
And I'm not getting any specific. Just, do you like Daniel Jones? I don't want to talk about it, which is fascinating as far as the media is concerned and as far as the players listening to that. If you're Saquon, you're like, what?
Clean
or are
slate?
you like, let's work? You guys tell me. What do you think?
Clean
slate from what?
And what's fascinating, too, is when I was at the Combine, I talked to some beat writers, and they said that they're not making the assistants available, which Jason Garrett's got to love. He no longer has to talk to the media, and he talked to us,
That's true.
5 days a week.
Right.
So I do think it's sort of, this is another new sheriff in town.
Nate, is it an eye roller for the players, or is it let's go?
He won me in that conversation, though.
Okay, you liked it.
Let me be honest, because I didn't hear much from him when he took the job. But then he was very brash in a sense, where it's like, I'm going to do it my way. A little bit of it reminded me when Matt Patricia first got to Detroit. I feel like Matt Patricia has adjusted just a hair. I understand that the Patriot way is something that coaches want to take with them and leave Boston and then go elsewhere. It doesn't always work like that. I will say this. A coach said to me when I was a rookie, I will treat everybody fair, but I won't treat you all the same, because not every superstar needs to be treated like the last dude on the roster. You have Saquon. Saquon is the man.
Yes.
Treat him as such.
Okay.
Certain guys deserve a little bit extra treatment. So
Jimmy Johnson always said that.
You feel me?
Yeah, there's different rules.
Well, I guess we answered the question on the screen, who has the most work to do? It's the Giants, because they don't even know the players on their roster. That's a lot of work.
Clean slate,
Good luck, Coach. Clean slate. Clean as a whistle. Go get him, Coach. Yeah.
All right, well, the drills in Lucas Oil looked pretty tough, but how will they look on the streets of New York?
Here we go.
So
I'm
we're
getting
actually
really
gonna
excited for this.
We're doing this in the street.
We're doing that
I have
in the
never
concrete
done
jungle.
we haven't even practiced these drills.
No practice. We don't practice.
No, it makes for better.
That's going to be you right there, Jen.
Yeah. And it's mock draft season. Are the Patriots looking for a quarterback in round 1?
You know what? Do your combine. It's like dodging rats in the street.
That's low, dog. Look at that. Wow.
Oh, that's low, bro.
I've seen lower.
Discover how low you can go.
Now that's Snoop Dogg.
With a quote from the General Insurance.
And he's riding with the general.
Yo, G, you drop the rates, I drop the beats.
For a great low rate, you can get online. Go to the General and save some time.
Even for those with less than perfect credit.
Think he's coming back, bro?
At CDW, we get that trying to simplify data storage can get very complicated. But CDW will assess your needs and implement a Dell EMC Unity XT All-Flash Unified Storage Platform. It delivers speed and efficiency while providing simplicity and flexibility. For unified storage platforms, you need Dell Technologies and IT orchestration by CDW.
It's only human to find inspiration in nature and also find answers. Our search to transform farm waste into renewable natural gas led Chevron to partner with California Bioenergy, working to provide an alternative source of power for a cleaner way forward.
We asked college kids if they would get up early for a Burger King croissant.
No, it's too early.
I didn't even know Burger King had breakfast.
This is good.
This is better than what I usually eat.
Definitely worth waking up for it.
The BK croissant. Get 2 for $4 or 2 doubles for $5. Your way better.
The Army has been an awesome experience, but after Roman was born, I started transitioning out to spend more time with the family. I found this job as an operations manager on LinkedIn. I applied, and I ended up getting the job.
Welcome to the NFL Draft.
This is what an MVP does. There goes Barkley. Oh, baby!
And I think they got the best player in the draft.
The Heisman winner, the champion, Joe Burrow, arguably the best college football season ever.
Chase Young.
He's tough. He's an instant playmaker.
The legend of Tua Tagovailoa has begun.
Justin Herbert is going to end with a Pac-12 championship and a Rose Bowl victory.
With the first pick.
We welcome you to NFL Total Access.
It's one of the best things about the National Football League.
Free agency frenzy is finally here.
There's always a fresh piece of news.
We start with the future of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm really thrilled about this opportunity.
Always something to find out.
We are now the Las Vegas Raiders.
Always something to talk about.
Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
Reporting from every city, on every team, every weeknight.
It's going to take a lot of reps between me and the guys.
This is a 4-3-3-40.
On every story, defining the game.
Welcome to the NFL Draft.
Appreciate every moment. It's only one time you get to go through this.
As it unfolds right in front of our eyes.
He's got the speed, he's got the length, he's got the strength.
Into the end zone for the touchdown.
We know the league better than anyone, and we're there to make sure you do too.
He's big, he's powerful, he's everything, and he's going to make some plays for you.
Kansas City, you've got a champion!
NFL Total Access, only on NFL Network.
Time for Will Selva and the newsroom out in Culver City. Good morning, Will.
Good morning to you, Jane. Guys, I was wondering if somebody was going to call out sick after chucking that smoothie yesterday. And obviously, you guys have very strong stomachs, but Peter conspicuously absent.
Yeah.
So maybe he's the gentle flower out of all of you.
He has a weak
Somebody
stomach.
check in on Schrager. Who knows?
He's a weak stomach.
Scary times.
Yes, it is. Very
I just
scary.
ruined it for him, Will. He couldn't come back a second day with me.
No. Glad you're back for a second day, Jane. Lots to get to in the news, as there's been a steady drip of it coming out on the various physical issues quarterback Jameis Winston dealt with last season. A broken thumb, as we mentioned, a torn meniscus, and poor eyesight, which resulted in LASIK eye surgery. Now, the timing of these revelations coinciding with his pending free agency. Peter King of NBC Sports believes the Bucs are likely to move on from Winston, and he will not be a starting QB on opening day in 2020 unless he is in Tampa. Now, another starting quarterback whose future is up in the air is Andy Dalton. The Athletic reporting the Bears have been in touch with the Bengals about acquiring Dalton. The Bears are said to be looking for Mitchell Trubisky to get pushed by another quarterback. New offensive coordinator Bill Lazor, by the way, does have some familiarity with Dalton dating back to his days when he was the QB's coach and OC from 2016 to 2018. In non-QB news, Broncos running back Philip Lindsay proving to be a steal for the team as an undrafted free agent. One would think he would be in line for a new contract, right? But general manager John Elway had said Lindsay would have to wait until after free agency before they would even consider renegotiations. There's apparently a reason for the hesitancy, as 9 News in Denver reports the team has interest in some of the top free agent running backs, including Derrick Henry, Kenyon Drake, and Melvin Gordon. Seahawks running back Marshawn Lynch will be giving a speech at graduation time. Let that sink in for a second. Okay, now that it has, the place where he would be giving his address is Princeton. It would actually be for Princeton's class day, which takes place the day before the commencement ceremony. The senior class is in charge of organizing it. And if it was anything like his final press conference when he talked about taking care of your chickens and taking care of your mentals, it should be epic. I'm here for it. But we happen to have a Princeton grad there in studio. KB, what do you think of Beast Mode being there talking at your alma mater?
I think it's absolutely incredible. If someone had come in 2001 and told me to take care of my chicken, I might not be sitting here right now. I absolutely loved it. Thank you, Marshawn. Go crush it. I remember at my graduation, Bill Russell got an honorary degree. Spike Lee got one. Bill Walton. It was incredible, but we did not have Marshawn speak to us. I remember mine a little differently, but I would be there. I may actually go. I may attend that.
But you're never going to believe who mine was, Will. I had Cookie Monster at Texas.
Cookie Monster spoke to you?
Wow.
Really?
What?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a huge Sesame Street fan.
That's incredible.
Cookie Monster was.
Who was that yours? Snuffleupagus? Thank you, Will.
I want Marshawn to just look at him and say, I'm just here so you don't get fired.
Ah, that's good. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go to that, for real.
See, that was a nice believe it or not segment. So the Bengals are expected to franchise tag A.J. Green, and according to Peter King, that's exactly what Joe Burrow asked for. This past week, Burrow apparently made it clear to Cincinnati brass he wants them to keep their top receiver. Believe it or not, Joe Burrow should be telling the Bengals who to keep on their roster before he's even been picked, guys.
Yeah.
You liking it?
If they're going to hand over the keys to this young fella, of course. Listen, he's not your typical rookie. This dude isn't 2021. I mean, he's like Chris Winkie type age. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's older than the Wink Dog.
Yeah, the Wink Dog was like 30 when he got in the league. But, you know, he's 24 years old, and he's been through the ups and downs of the collegiate career. He kind of understands what's going on. And this is indeed your future. You want him to be as comfortable as possible. And what else is he going to say if you ask him, should they keep A.J. Brown? Of course he wants one of the best receivers to play within his era. And here's the thing. When he has the power.
A.J. Green, of course.
Yeah, A.J. Green. And when he has the power, and he wills the power, you can make any decision. It's just like my household, man. My wife makes all decisions because she holds all the power. You know what I'm saying, KB?
Yeah.
Shout out to Toya.
Shout out to
Toya Burleson. Nate, tell us something that's actually going to surprise us. It's kind of like, you know, LeBron in the same state used to be like, listen, I want Bobby Gibson.
Right.
I want Mike Miller. Right. I want Zadrunas Ilgauskas. Give me Wally Zerbiak. He used to basically he was basically the GM. So I don't mind Joe Burrow saying it. Joe Burrow has always been very honest. He made the joke about hand size. And if someone says, Joe, do you want A.J. Green to be? Of course I do. What am I, stupid? Yes. The question is, should they listen? Because there's also if you give a mouse a cookie factor. Like, this guy's not even on the team yet, and he's already kind of commenting on personnel. So next he wants to change the helmets, and then he wants to do this. If you want to keep A.J. Green, do it because you want to keep A.J. damn Green, not because some guy from LSU says you should.
And I think they also have to be cognizant. There was another guy who wanted to go to his team, Cleveland, who got a lot of autonomy and got a lot of say in personnel decisions, and that hasn't exactly worked out for them. So that's not a knock.
Okay.
That's not a knock on Mayfield. I'm just saying, do you want to give the keys to the kingdom to a kid that young? Now, I don't think the way that he said it was that offensive this early on, but I just think you got to be careful.
Yeah, I just think he's wise behind his years. Beyond his years. Yeah, I mean, he's smoking a cigar after winning the biggest game of his life. That's an OG right there.
Yeah. Listen, I don't do casting for this network, but if somebody asked me if I want to keep Nate, I'm saying, yeah, we're going to keep Nate.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
What's he cost? What else we got?
All right, Danielle Jeremiah's post-combine mock draft was released yesterday. He has 4 quarterbacks going in the first round, including the Patriots selecting Justin Herbert at number 23. Now, believe it or not, no matter what happens with Tom Brady, should the Patriots be drafting a QB in the first round?
You know what's funny? My class day speaker at Princeton, currently in prison. Really? Yes. We'll move on from that, though. It just occurred to me. If Tom Brady stays, absolutely not. I always hate drafting a quarterback when you already have a quarterback. I hate the Patriots drafting somebody who's never going to play it down, who's going to stand there that could be a tackle or a tight end. It could be the difference between a Super Bowl. Now, if Brady, is gone and becomes a Tennessee Titan, I still don't like drafting it. I like going with a free agent. I like somebody who's been there, who they can work with. Because, guys, let's not forget this Patriots team is awesome. They have the Defensive Player of the Year. They have good playmakers. They got this. They could win this year with somebody like Dalton or Nate's guy Bridgewater. I don't want to start anew with a rookie. I always go with the free agent or Brady.
I'm going to go ahead and draft a wide receiver. Like, don't draft a QB. If we keep talking about how deep this wide receiver class is, then why not, in the end of that first round, find somebody that can help Tom Brady? I get it. You have Julian Edelman. You brought in Mohamed Sanu. N'Keal Harry was a little banged up, but he found his rhythm late. Like, find a guy that fits. Like, if you have Dorsett still there and he's your speed guy, and I'm not currently sure what's going on with his contract situation, and you have Sanu, which is a chain mover, N'Keal, which is the young athletic type, Edelman, which is your every down receiver, then have somebody that fits within that dynamic. And there's so many guys. You have true speedsters in this draft. You have tall guys like T. Higgins. You have big, wide range catch radius
salad
receivers.
bar.
You have everything that you want. So you literally can pick and pluck it into your wide receiver group, so Tom Brady has no excuses and he isn't upset like everybody keeps saying he was last year.
I also think it's so hard for a quarterback as a rookie to come in and be an impact player. I mean, name the last rookie quarterback that won a Super Bowl. So I think, if granted you're going to have contingency plans with Tom Brady being 43. I know Tommy Time thinks he can play forever, and he's certainly shown us that. You've got to start thinking about the next generation, but I do think that if they're looking in the next couple of years going out and getting a quarterback, they've got some other needs to fill. And to your point, maybe they don't have to go out there and make such risky moves in free agency with the wide receiver core if they start developing a wide receiver at the position.
True.
What an exciting time to be alive. We love the time right now. And guys, if Joe Burrow or Chase Young's the best player in the draft, could the kookiest personality in the draft be a Utah defensive end? What? You know the Wonderlic, but we take guys who have interesting personalities and give them something called the Funderlic. Who's good on Twitter? Who's good on Instagram? Who gives weird interview bites? We'll get into it. And which team needs to maybe get that guy, Cam Newton, or maybe that guy? Are they going to be available? Will they be staying? Will they be moving? We'll get into the biggest moves in free agency. Don't go anywhere. Power Trio Tuesday. Say Kookie? Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Preston T.
Jake from State Farm?
Here's the deal. She's not the one for you. If she's not gonna protect all her stuff with State Farm, how's she gonna protect your heart?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We were taught and raised that we all exist here on this planet to benefit others. That's how my wife and I feel when we give to St. Jude every month. Our giving is right up there with our mortgage. That's the priority that we put on giving to St. Jude.
Pain, swelling, stiffness. When your hands hurt, you can't function. Until now. Introducing the new CopperFit compression gloves with Sure Grip technology to give you more power, more control, and more agility than ever. Our most advanced copper-infused compression fabric woven into an ultra-lightweight performance glove that fits like a second skin to support relief and recovery of sore muscles and painful joint stiffness. And new Sure Grip bands built in to provide a strong, non-slip grip for more power and control.
You need total control of your hands when you're doing anything with construction. Your hands are your livelihood. The Copperfit gloves are great. The grip is outstanding here with these different ribs. It makes my hand a lot more usable. It just feels like you're just ready to start the job.
The gloves have been a game changer for me. They help with flexibility and pain and soreness. They allow me to do my job even better.
Breathable wicking fabric with an open finger design for full range of motion, feel, and control.
They relieve my pain. When I grab something, I'm not in pain. The support or whatever magic these things do, I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter to me what it is, it works.
I get a lot of pain, and it can make it difficult to do the smallest thing. While I'm wearing this, I do not have any pain. I can use it on the keyboard, I can use my phone, I drive with it, I sleep with it. I love this glove.
The new Copperfit compression gloves with Sure Grip technology. Relief from painful muscle and joint soreness. Guaranteed or your money back. Call 1-800-249-2701 or on the web at getcopperfitgloves.com for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
I tried it, I used it, I know it works.
Copperfit gloves definitely just make my life better.
I've used Copperfit before. This has helped my hands so much. These things work.
Feel better with copper-infused compression. Ask for it by name. Copperfit compression gloves.
Did you know 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. faces hunger? And 13 million kids go home not knowing where their next meal will come from? That's why for more than a decade, America's dairy farmers and the NFL have been committed to getting food to kids who need it. Since the program started, more than 3 billion additional breakfasts have been served to kids in schools across the country. Find out more about how dairy farmers in the NFL are helping kids have better health and wellness by visiting FuelUpThePlace60.com.
Justin Herbert just put that on a rope.
That was a big league throw by Justin Herbert.
Herbert making some moves.
That pass is a beauty, threading the needle. Herbert fires. Touchdown!
Justin Herbert's Pro Day is set to be featured on a special 1-hour edition of Path to the Draft. We're also heading to Oklahoma and Clemson to watch some of the top prospects gear up for Vegas. It's a 1-hour Pro Day special Thursday, March 12th, here on NFL Network. Well, the NFL Scouting Combine may be over for 2020's draft hopefuls, but we thought we'd have our hosts take a crack at bringing some of Indy's iconic drills onto the streets of New York in this week's edition of Sidewalk Chalk. As you can see, they are getting ready. They are getting loose. Our participants this morning are Jane Slater, Kyle Brandt, and the star of the 2003 NFL Combine, Nate Burleson. Now, first up is the W drill, which measures a defensive back's ability to backpedal and change directions, as exemplified here by LSU DB Christian Fulton. Kyle Brandt. You're up first. Let's see what you have in the W drill. And there's Kyle. So far smooth. There he is. With the cones. Now can he catch it? Catches it smoothly. So Kyle, who once was a running back for Princeton, giving love